Series. Denver Nuggets travel to Phoenix with a 2-0 series lead. NBA announced that Celtics guard Marcus Smart is the winner of this year's Hustle Award. In fact, he's won that player and is the first player to win that award 2 years in a row. Tom Brady says it's all fake news. When talking about that reporting, might walk away from Fox.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Live on this Friday afternoon out at the Techport Center. It is fight night on this Friday, Cinco de Mayo. Viva La Brawl time.
It is finally here, and I tell you what, we got a chance to go inside. We're sitting right outside the door, so if you're coming down to the fight, you can stop and say hello to us. But we went inside where the ring is all set up. It's a really cool look inside there. So apparently there's still some tickets available. I heard Michael Jimenez saying that, so I hope he's right. If you're thinking of something to do tonight, come on down.
Well, and again, we were in the ring earlier, shot a video. You can see that on the socials, either Instagram or on Twitter. But I'm curious because Rudy J has been talking all week that he wants to, at some point, because Rudy J is the big ring announcer tonight, he wants to stand on the middle rope to shout to the crowd. Problem is, they're not 3 ropes, there's 4.
And they're pretty – I don't think even as much weight as Rudy's lost, now I don't think he's going to be able to do that.
I will say this, in front of nobody inside the arena, I got to the second rope. Standing there in the corner, it was a little wobbly. I couldn't imagine holding a microphone in one hand and dear life for the other, trying to shout to the crowd. And the thing is, he would have no time to practice this. The stepping down or jumping down, I'm just glad there was no video of that, because I probably would say that wasn't pretty. That probably was not one of my finer moments. Probably better than Michael Jimenez losing his mustard challenge, but it would rank right in that same category.
Well, let me tell you something. The boxing is going to be good enough, but the price of admission would be worth it just to see Rudy try that thing. And if he makes it, great. If he doesn't, boy, what a tumble.
Well, and here's the thing. I was standing on the second rope, and it was a little wobbly, and I had one leg up on the third rope and thought, yeah, I'm not doing that.
No,
I'm not doing that.
No,
because they're firm, they're steady. I just it just was not a comfortable feeling.
It's not, but Rudy will probably try it. Why not? Everybody thinks they can do everything.
Well, that's it. But here's the other thing, Rudy J, and I know you're listening, and I know, my man, you have lost a lot of weight, and you've gotten a whole new wardrobe. You might want to go with the old pants tonight. Because the ducking in and out between the 4 ropes, there's not a lot of room there, and you can't afford to have a split in front of this crowd tonight at the Boeing Center, because if Rudy goes completely tailored, he's not bending over, crawling between those ropes.
Again, worth the price of admission to see a split pair of drawers from Rudy J.
Nobody wants to see that.
Well, probably
Except
not,
maybe
but
Anna.
I mean, who knows? There'll be some people out here that probably wouldn't mind seeing that. So come on out here to the Techport Center. It's a really cool place. If you haven't been here, I've been here once before, and it brought back memories of Boys to Men.
Mm-hmm.
We had a good time out there.
We did.
That, but,
we did.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, you and your wife, me and my wife, Rob Thompson and his wife, we came out here to see Boys to Men. I've seen Hailstorm out here. I've seen the band Nothing More here. This is a great arena. And if you're coming out tonight, the food court, the beer, and then you go inside, plenty of course, we're right next to a men's room that was in Joe Reinagel's rider clause in his contract.
We had to do that.
He's always got to be within 30 feet of a urinal.
Yep.
And Greg Shelton actually gets a tape measure to make sure that the contract rider is accurate.
We might be a little farther than 30 feet, but I'm not going to give
There's one right over here,
credit.
Too. So you keep taking the long walk, but I mean,
it's right there.
Yeah, there's 2 of them.
All right,
I mean, there's plenty of porcelain in the Techport Center.
That's perfect.
Yes,
that is absolutely perfect. And you know what? If I remember correctly, and I haven't looked, But I don't think the beer is outrageous. It's like pretty reasonable for an arena.
It's event prices, but they're the big beers.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of Yingling flights out here.
That's why I wore my shirt today.
Is that
the
really?
Yingling?
Yeah, the who?
With the flight.
How many have you had?
Well, it's Friday. What are we going to do?
Well, I mean, I'm looking at the Yingling flight sign here right outside the window at the Techport Center.
So, yeah, they're getting all set up. It's kind of cool to be out here. Everybody, I mean, the ring and everything is already in place, the chairs, the tables, all that stuff. But you got some souvenir folks over there getting their stuff ready to go. And everybody's putting the final finishing touches on what should be a great event out here tonight.
Absolutely. Viva La Bra here at the Techport Center on Friday. You think about this weekend. And one of the big things on a Saturday in May, the first Saturday in May, is the Kentucky Derby. And this is the year you hear all kinds of people become horse racing experts.
Of course.
You won't hear that on the Blitz. I mean, we'll tell you about it, but we don't know. I mean, like I have fun at the track and I'll bet some stuff, but I don't know. So for
the horse that poops.
For our beer bet, and Joe won't know any bowel movements when we make the beer bet. This is where we'll reach out to you on the Kielbasa Smoke Meats phone lines. You can call us or you can text us 210-656-ESPN 656-3776 because we'll make our official beer bet later in the show. But we need some advice from you guys, the listeners, the guys that are more into horse racing than just the big ones.
And don't give us Forte, all right? Because that's everybody's picked. It's a favorite. We need a horse besides Forte, all right? So if, everybody, Forte.
Well, that's it.
easy.
For our beer bet, our rules, we can't pick the favorite, which is Forte. Now, I'm always leaning towards a Todd Pletcher horse. Madison High School grad, and he's got really, I think, 3 of the 4 favorites in this race, including Forte. But I'm a fan of Todd Pletcher, so I mean, if he's got it, I'll probably lean that way. Now we will help you get educated. Our buddy Frank Alosa is going to join us at 4:15. His official job title is bloodstock agent, which just sounds weird, but he buys and sells racehorses.
Yeah,
and he's a handicapper. So we'll cheat with Frank Alosa. And anytime I've won money, like real money at a track, it's with Frank Alosa.
Really?
Yes.
Well, there you go. So he'll give us some good advice.
He's my guy.
All right.
He'll be your guy.
I've got a couple of horses that I've already looked at that are talking to me.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, they're talking to me. So I can't wait for this beer bet. But any advice would be helpful, and we could certainly use it. There's no question. Look, I used to go out there to Retama all the time.
Yeah.
Never did well.
Well, see, so my father-in-law always had the number 2 horse in his business. So in honor of him, anytime we're out there, I always put something with the number 2 in there. And let's just say that hasn't really worked out. But you always got to put a couple of bucks with the 2 horse because you never know. But I will tell you, and again, Frank Alosa will join us coming up. When I walked out of Retama with hundreds of dollars, it was listening to Frank Alosa.
Well, and that's good. And I used to not know enough about it. So I would just pick a horse and say, give me whatever it is to win, place, or show. But, to make money, it's kind of like betting football. You got to bet a parlay, right?
Uh-huh.
So you kind of do that where you got the trifectas and all that kind of stuff. So, but we're making it easy for you. Just give us one horse that you like besides Forte that you can help us out with. And so we'll have our beer bet later in the show.
210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. You can call or you can text or you can tweet at Joe Reinagle 210. Tweet at me at Jason Minix. Or if you're watching on the YouTube live, comment there as well. Not just about the horse racing, but about everything going on in sports that we'll dive into on this Friday afternoon. Of course, we'll talk some Cowboys with John Machota coming up at 5:30. And what I find interesting is the talk now about Ezekiel Elliott and his return to the Dallas Cowboys. Now, he's still listed as a post-June 1 cut for the Cowboys, and that makes a lot of sense. But is he Could he return more as an insurance policy for the Dallas Cowboys? You know, it's one thing when you or I or some talking head on TV brings that up, but Emmitt Smith seems to think that should happen. And when Emmitt speaks, people listen.
Well, that's absolutely true. I mean, especially when he's pouring tequila.
Yes.
You know, we listen very well. But,
Yes.
yeah, you got to listen to Emmitt Smith, right? I mean, the greatest Cowboy, greatest running back in NFL history, in my opinion.
Yards-wise, yeah.
Of course. But, I mean, he's got some interesting takes on the Zeke debate that I can't wait to get into coming up here in a little bit because I might have to disagree with him.
Well, and you can disagree with him, but I think what he says is worthy of the conversation to be had, and you got to figure it's a real conversation that's happening at the Star. And again, more as an insurance policy when you look at available running backs. I don't agree with him 100%, but he does make some sense. And again, because it's Emmitt talking, I think you do have to give it a serious listen and go from there. Plus, you know, on Good Morning Football, Kyle Brandt has put all the quarterbacks in different tiers. And I really think Kyle was in his basement and figured, what can I do to get a lot of traction, a lot of people that think I'm an idiot and want to argue with me? Because how he has tiered up the quarterbacks has created quite a debate. You can see some of where he's going with that, but others you go, all right, what's your criteria here? And if you look at the pictures that they used, I promise you there are some quarterbacks that you look at and go, who the hell is that? Because they're just faces, like chin up. You know, no number, no jersey designation. You're like, who is that? Like, if you could pick Desmond Ridder out of a lineup, you are better than I am. If you could pick Sam Howell out of a lineup, you are better than I am.
Well, I can't do it, so I'm not going to even try. But that was the one that Trevor Lawrence took exception to and actually tweeted out about because he's got Trevor Lawrence way down the list, and Sunshine's not very happy about it.
Because games aren't played on paper.
Well, that's exactly right.
It's true.
He's right.
It's true.
He went to the playoffs this year, didn't he?
Well, I mean, it's in the AFC South. I mean, you got to suck really bad not to be a playoff team in the AFC South.
Really?
Yeah.
It's the AFC, though. He still made it. And I think they won a game.
AFC South.
Did they win a game?
In the AFC South.
Did they not win a game?
AFC South. You notice everybody not named Jacksonville picked in the top 5, top 6 in the AFC South because they all sucked.
Who the hell? I got to find out now who they played.
Well, I mean,
I don't remember.
Of course you don't remember.
Well, do you?
No. Let's talk about playoffs. The Golden State Warriors returned to form last night because Anthony Davis did what he continues to do. Every other game, he is good. That's not good for the Lakers. We'll dive into that as we continue here on the Blitz. If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, and you need your logo on any kind of gear, get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro. You need your company logo on a nice golf shirt, a fishing shirt, Sam will get you taken care of. T-shirt, screen printed, go see Sam. If you need uniforms done, Sam has over 700 uniform lines to choose from, all kinds of industries, restaurant, construction, schools, leagues, medical, just to name a few. If you need caps, man, Sam has over 12,000 caps on display right now in his showroom, just waiting for your logo. He even has the popular Richardson 112 style trucker caps. Sammy's Embroidery and Printing. Nobody has better prices. Sammy has all the big name brands like North Face, Eddie Bauer, Nike, Travis Matthew, Port Authority, to name a few. No order too big, no order too small, and Sammy is the only company in Texas that offers one-day turnaround. Call 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or better yet, go by that massive showroom down on San Pedro, 1 mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it going to work? Guys, I'm going to let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pure Line Nutrition.
Power through every season with True Fuel, the ready-to-use engineered fuel for outdoor power equipment that lasts for years and provides true convenience, true performance, and true protection. True Fuel is ethanol-free and precision engineered to improve performance and extend the life of trimmers, blowers, chainsaws, and small generators. With True Fuel in the tank, you're always ready for yard work and everything Mother Nature decides to throw at you. True Fuel. Empower your equipment.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
The XFL Championship game is here. In a league of dreams and opportunities, there's only one chance to be a champion. The road to the XFL Championship ends in San Antonio. The best of the North versus the best of the South. The DC Defenders versus the Arlington Renegades. Who will emerge the winner? The 2023 XFL Championship game, Saturday, May 13th at 7 p.m. at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio. Defenders versus Renegades. XFL history will be made. Tickets are on sale now, starting at $25. Visit xfl.com/tickets.
Garage clutter got you down? Garageization will help improve that mood. Cabinets, shelving, workbenches, overhead racks, slat wall. They even do floors. Oh my! GarageOrganizationSanAntonio.com for more info. GarageOrganizationSanAntonio.com.
It can happen in an instant. A car accident can change your life forever. From serious injuries to mounting medical bills to battling insurance companies, accidents make life harder than it should be. If you've been in an accident, George Salinas Injury Lawyers are here for you. They're local, experienced, and ready to fight for results that make a difference. If you've been injured, don't call just any lawyer. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers at 210-225-0909 or visit georgesalinas.com.
George gets justice.
Monday on R&R in the morning, the playoffs continue. We'll get you caught up. We're giving away Victory cigars at 7:30 and smoking those ugly Swisher Sweets as well. Now back to the Techport Center with Jason and Joe. It's going to be a good fight tonight, fellas. Enjoy yourselves.
Steph Curry. Curry counted and a foul. Chance for a 4-point play.
Steph Curry last night didn't have the Steph Curry type game that most thought, but the Golden State, no problem, 127-100, and that series now even at 1. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. When you think about the game last night, was it more on the Lakers kind of sleepwalking? Anthony Davis not motivated, Anthony Davis ineffective, or was just Golden State just playing more Golden State style basketball?
They were playing more Golden State style basketball. Did you see what they were doing? Steph Curry's double and triple teamed all the time, so he's dishing the basketball. Now, those guys got to make shots, right? But they're getting the ball inside. The pace was better than it was in game one. All the things that the Warriors needed to do, they did. LeBron James started out hot, but then he cooled off. You really didn't hear from him the rest of the game after about midway through the second quarter. And you're right, Anthony Davis. This guy really baffles me. Such a talented dude. But last night he looked like he would have rather been anywhere else but at that basketball game.
To go from a 30-20 game to 11-7, and you play 32 minutes. Just doesn't seem humanly possible. I forget which talking head on TV said last night, he should get those numbers in his sleep.
Yeah.
He doesn't even have to try. Only 7 rebounds is embarrassing. Credit Draymond Green. Draymond was great last night. Steve Kerr even talked about Draymond being Draymond.
Yeah, Draymond was brilliant. I mean, this is the guy who, we have to have. He's our engine, and we decided to put him on Davis tonight from the start. And I thought he got us off to a good start defensively just with his aggressiveness.
And you know, they had to make a move there late in that ball game because Kayvon Looney was a little bit ill. He did play, but yeah. And I tell you what, his brother, they went small, and I think it bothered the Lakers a little bit, and they didn't really know what to do. And if they're going to continue to double and triple team Steph Curry, which they're probably going to do because, well, why not? But you know, if the other guys show up like they did last night, if they work the ball, they were passing and dishing the ball. Obviously, Klay Thompson had a monster night. You really can't count on that every night. But if they can get the ball, continue to do that, and get it inside the way they were able to do it last night, they're going to be a problem for L.A.
Well, and you look at Klay Thompson with 30 points last night, 8 of 11 from 3. In fact, as a team, the Golden State Warriors were 50% from three-point range. They were 21 of 42. And while Steph, you know, had a pedestrian 20 points by Curry's standards, it's because the defense the Lakers played on him. But he said he's a smart basketball player. He knows how to pass the ball, and his teammates were making shots.
So just finding ways to be impactful and be aggressive. And whatever's working, sticking with that until you have to do something different. So we're capable of playing a lot of different ways. I'm capable of playing a lot of different ways. You know, as long as we're just creating open shots, no matter who's taking them. And obviously tonight I didn't have a lot of open ones for a reason, and make the right decision. The ball finds the right person, and good things happen.
And good things happen. And look, if I think the Lakers will do what they need to do as far as double teaming Steph Curry, because you got to figure the other guys are not going to make shots. Klay Thompson's not going to be as hot as he was. You don't think. But I like what they were doing, and they were pushing the pace, Jason, and that's something that they need to do as well. Kind of interesting to see what Anthony Davis shows up on in Game 3 tomorrow night.
Well, it's every other game, and again, if I were to tell you Steph Curry's only going to have 20 points and make just 3 3-pointers, you would think that the Golden State Warriors would lose. Instead, they win the game by 27 points. Series is even at 1. And you and I have both been consistent in saying that Golden State's going to win this series. Now, had the Lakers won last night, I would have pulled a whole Mike Jimenez and flip-flopped. But, you know, at 127 to 100, you know, that was convincing. But Golden State has not been a good road team all year. Did you see there is on the resale market? Now, granted, you know, take for granted what it is. Somebody actually has to pay it. But the highest ticket price right now to watch Game 3 in Los Angeles is $31,906 for a ticket. Now, it's for sale at that price. I have no idea what it's going to sell for. But would you drop $31,000 to watch LeBron and Steph in L.A.?
No, I wouldn't, but I'm sure there's some celebrities out there, depending on where those seats are.
And I would it's not in the rafters.
Well, I'm assuming they got to be floor seats, don't they?
I would think you've got feet on wood,
or pretty dang close to that. But yeah, somebody's going to pay it because look, that's where all the celebrities want to be seen. Right, they want to get out there. They want to. The cameras are going to be on them, and you know they probably never go to a basketball game their entire life, but they'll go to this one because the cameras will be on them. But it's going to be interesting to see. You know, these type of series just fascinate me because it's a roller coaster. It's up and down, and that's why you don't get too up or too down after a Game 1 win or loss. Obviously, Golden State didn't do that. They tied the thing up. Now we go to L.A., and you know, Golden State would be very happy coming out of L.A. with a split.
They would be. And again, this is a team that has not been good on the road all year, yet they won a Game 7 on the road in the first round to eliminate the Sacramento Kings. The Lakers are a great defensive team. And if they can have the same kind of defensive effort against Steph and Anthony Davis, because, you know, it's an odd number game, and if he plays Anthony Davis type basketball, I'm not going to be surprised if the Lakers, win this one. And it's weird that it does come back to Anthony Davis, isn't it?
And it's a shame that we got to talk about Anthony Davis that way. That, you know, and Charles Barkley hit the nail on the head. When Anthony Davis is motivated to play, he's a very difficult man to stop. Last night, he was obviously not motivated because you could see it in his face immediately. He just it's like, I got better things to do than to be here tonight. And for a guy that is a superstar in the NBA, and you've got games like that, and you've got national broadcasters calling him out for it, it's just sad. You're in the playoffs. You could have taken a 2-0 lead and really put a chokehold on Golden State, but yet you decided,
11-7.
We're okay. We did what we needed to do. We'll go back to Los Angeles and it'll be okay. Well, I got news for you, AD. It might not be. It might not be.
I have to admit, I checked out like Anthony Davis in the third quarter when Golden State was just blowing it open. Third period of the Stars Kraken game was on, and it was still a good game at that point. And the hockey was so great last night. The basketball was so bad. I never went back to basketball.
Well, that's good for you. Luckily, you lasted a hell of a lot longer than Anthony Davis. He checked out the first quarter. You lasted till the third. So, and then LeBron, I don't know where he went, Jason, to be honest with you. I mean, this guy, he was playing extremely well in that first quarter. And then I don't know if it was something that Golden State did, an adjustment that they made defensively, but it was like I needed a missing persons ad put out for LeBron last night.
Say this about LeBron is tough because he is the ultimate competitor, right? But I do wonder if LeBron, who has such a high basketball IQ, did he realize his teammate did not have it? He didn't have it. Why spend the energy in a game that you know you're not going to win? Because the way LeBron started, I think he was going for the kill shot. And then when he realized he was alone, it seemed like he just, put it back down in the second gear or cruise control, if you will, and was, going through the motions. He didn't have that same competitive fire while I was still watching because, again, I jumped over to hockey and never went back because that was bad basketball.
It was great basketball. I don't know what you're talking about.
It was
just because it wasn't a competitive game. Golden State put on a clinic last night. An absolute clinic. How do you not enjoy watching that? When Klay Thompson starts making those shots, when they're getting the ball inside, when Curry's making passes that are incredible, that is good basketball. I enjoyed watching it, and I stayed with it midway through the fourth quarter until all the stars finally checked out.
Because you didn't have a hockey option.
I had an option of hockey, and I chose not to do that.
Again, I mean, some people like root canals. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, live out at the Techport Center. Viva La Brawl happening tonight from Davies Entertainment. It is fight night. The tickets are still available at daviesentertainment.com. Come see us here. Come to the fights on a Friday night. Emmitt Smith suggesting that the Cowboys bring Zeke back. We'll explain as we continue here on the Blitz. If you're looking for authentic sausage, the kind you could find in butcher shops back in the old days, then Kielbasa smoked sausage is what you've been looking for. You see, Kielbasa makes their legendary smoked sausage in small 150-pound batches with only fresh, high-quality ingredients, never frozen meat. They never add fillers or chemicals that you can't pronounce. Then it is smoked over real hardwood. Real smoke, honest meat, slow crafted. What they say is in their products is exactly what is in there. That is what they mean by honest meat. At Kielbasa, they are proud their ingredient list is short, straightforward, and doesn't require a PhD in chemistry to translate, because the only way they can guarantee it's the best sausage you've ever eaten is by using only real hardwood with their uncompromising slow crafted method, fresh spices, and yes, only honest meat, no fillers, no enhancers. If it's not the best sausage you've ever eaten, just give Michael Kielbasa a call. He'll give you your money back. His phone number is on the back of every package sold. Real smoke, honest meat, slow crafted. Go get some Kielbasa today.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, Tom Brady says that report of him walking away from $375 million is fake news. Why would he? Oh, my goodness. Texas Rangers back at it tonight. They're out west taking on the LA Angels. You can hear that game right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star beginning at 8 o'clock. Also out west in Seattle. First pitch set for 9:10. The Blitz continues after this.
Live life to the fullest. You hear it all the time, but it's easier said than done when you're in pain, right? Hey, it's James Pledger with 941 San Antonio Sports Star, and QC Kinetics is in the business of giving people back their quality of life and providing much-needed relief for chronic joint pain. And not just providing that relief, but doing so in the most non-invasive way possible using regenerative treatments from your body's own natural biologics. Where's your joint pain? In your knees, hips, shoulders, or back? Well, QC Kinetics concentrates these impactful treatments right at the source of your pain, directly applying healing properties where you need them the most. And best of all, you walk into the office and then right out after treatment. No surgery, no downtime, and patients are raving about the results. So what does living life to the fullest look like for you? Finally being able to play golf again, hike, walk your dog, enjoy time with your family? Whatever it is, don't wait another day. Get started today with a call to QC Kinetics for your complimentary consultation. 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. Locations in Hollywood Park, Westover Hills, and New Braunfels.
Inflation has pushed up the cost of just about everything, which means if you bought life insurance a few years ago, it might not be enough to protect your family today. Now is the time to get the insurance you need at a price you can afford. In a hurry? Don't worry. Call Select Quote now and get up to $2 million in instant, affordable, same-day coverage with no medical exam. That's right. You can get up to $2 million in instant, affordable, same-day coverage with no medical exam in under an hour.
Call Select Quote at 1-800-613-8990. That's 1-800-613-8990. Or go to SelectQuote.com now and get up to $2 million in instant, affordable, same-day coverage with no medical exam. That's 1-800-613-8990. Or go to SelectQuote.com now. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercial.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right.
I gotta try that Febreze car.
Just right, just right, just right. Yeah. La 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 la. Pick up for 40 days of consistent scent. All over Febreze car clips right on your vent. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face when it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah. Breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
Finding great people to hire can be like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Their powerful matching technology delivers so many qualified candidates, it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. For less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. The crazy thing is, this never ends. Even when you die, your family's now going to be stuck with this burden. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. 800-497-9090. That's 800-497-9090. 800-497-9090.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. Is your check engine light on? The free Fix Finder service reads your check engine, ABS, and maintenance lights. It even sends a detailed report directly to your email. When you need to get back on the road, AutoZone's free Fix Finder service is here. Get the most complete free warning light report backed by technician-verified fixes. Only at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
See details at AutoZone.com.
Getting to know yourself can be a lifelong process, especially since you're always growing and changing. Therapy is all about deepening that self-awareness, because sometimes you don't know what you really want until you talk things through. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist online who can take you on that journey of self-discovery from wherever you are. BetterHelp score off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/score.
Ribs, burgers, chicken. Submit what you grilled or smoked, and you could win a $50 gift card from Tri-County Meat Market.
So good and tasty.
Grilling with the Blitz. Joe Reinagel, Jason Minix, The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix, live out at the Tech Port. Viva La Bra. It is fight night here in San Antonio. Davies Entertainment putting on the big show tonight. Doors open at 5:30. We're getting a lot of people asking.
Yeah.
There's debate on what time the first fight starts.
The guys that just walked by said 6 or 6:30.
Yeah. So. But I also heard 7:30. But there's what, 6 fights on the card?
6 fights.
Yeah.
I don't think 7:30. It can't be that long, can it? I'm going to go with 6:30.
Boxing generally goes on its own time.
It does, but
Yeah.
I'm going to go with 6:30.
6:30?
Yeah, is that a beer
Just
bet?
get
You want
here.
to go 7:30?
Just get here. Yeah, you can
5:30.
You can walk
in the
in
door.
and get a beer at 5:31. And that's ultimately all that matters.
That's really all that matters. Plus, the food's pretty good here.
Yes, it is.
They come have dinner out here as well. So, they got good stuff, if I remember correctly. It's not just hot dogs and hamburgers.
What are you saying? Hot dogs and hamburgers are bad stuff?
Nothing wrong with that.
I
because
mean,
I would have a hot dog, but I'm just saying.
I know there's the pizza slices, because I've had that here, are great.
Yeah.
The beer is cold.
Well, there you
I
go.
think there's
See, what else is there?
Greg Shelton, will you go check out all the different restaurants that are available here for us? I mean, I know that would require you to get up and walk.
He's on his way.
But you'll look at food. You can get back in.
He's on his way.
We have access. I mean, you're wearing a radio station shirt. You can go wherever the hell you want.
Oh, is that how that works?
Shh, don't tell anybody.
Well, I'm wearing a radio station. You're not, though.
Yeah, but I'm fine.
You're okay, yeah?
I'm fine. The Zeke debate continues. And until he signs with another team, it is going to continue. Now, as we start this conversation, I don't think Zeke should come back to the Dallas Cowboys. I think that's a divorce. There should be no reconciliation. Although Emmitt Smith says that is something that the Dallas Cowboys not only should consider, they should do it.
I think Dallas need to bring Zeke back if they can. With the uncertainty of Pollard being able to come back and being the Tony Pollard that we all know, that is yet to be seen. Until that has proven itself out and he's healthy enough to get out there and carry the football and be some form of who he used to be, that is my biggest concern. No disrespect to Malik Davis, no disrespect to Deuce Vaughn, but Deuce Vaughn and Malik Davis and no Tony Pollard presents a major challenge for the Dallas Cowboys offense.
The comment about Tony Pollard is a little strange. If it was a knee, okay, I would be with him, but it's a broken leg.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to affect Tony Pollard moving forward. I think he's going to be fully healed and ready to go. But where Emmett is right is they need that 1-2 punch, and I don't see where they have that. Although Malik Davis, I really think the Cowboys are high on him, and maybe Jerry and Steven are quite frankly just telling us that's who we're going to go with until we have to do something different.
Well, and I find it also interesting he does not mention Ronald Jones.
No,
and I don't think Ronald Jones makes the opening day roster. And I agree with you 100%. Tony Pollard is going to be just fine. I mean, do we know that? No. But, I mean, it was a simple broken leg.
Right.
It's not like he had ACL, MCL, microfracture surgery or anything like that. He had a broken leg. I think he's going to be fine. My concern with Tony Pollard is he's never been the bell cow running back. He wasn't in college. He hasn't been yet in his NFL career. Can he carry that load through a 17-game regular season? Malik Davis, Vaughn, if the Cowboys were worried about Tony Pollard, they would have taken a running back a lot higher in the draft than they did. But look, veteran types that are all post June 1 cuts. Zeke Elliott is either the best or second best, depending on how you look at things. And and there's really not a lot of difference at the top of the free agent running backs. But what people always want to bring up, I heard this earlier today from Michael Jimenez, his 3.8 yards per carry, which ain't a bad average. Is it down? Sure. But Zeke gets you those tough, short yardage, the number of touchdowns that he had, first downs that he picked up. And I don't know that Pollard is that guy when the box is stacked. Vaughn, maybe he just gets underneath everybody and they lose him in the crowd. Is Malik Davis that kind of running back? But I think Emmett Smith is saying Tony Pollard is okay as your guy, but you need that insurance policy just in case.
I totally agree with that. It's all going to depend on what Zeke is asking for, I think. The Cowboys aren't going to pay him a lot of money. They're going to pay him exactly whatever the veteran's minimum is, I think. I don't think he gets any more than that. And if they do pay him, they'll overpay him again for that. I think the thing is gone. Stephon Gilmore has 21. I know Zeke Elliott said something about 15, wearing his college jersey again, but it's gone. Move on. Do something else. And again, though, this could be the Cowboys and their short-sightedness by not planning ahead, unless they think they have with Malik Davis and they're ready to give him a shot. Because everybody you talk to say the Cowboys like this kid. I haven't heard of anybody that doesn't.
Sure.
So maybe it's time they give him a shot, and that's their thinking.
Well, and some of this is the Cowboys refusing to close the door. And so when you have a Jerry Jones or you have a Mike McCarthy talking about that possibility is there until they add that other running back, because, and I think this is what you're hearing from Emmitt Smith. I mean, Tony Pollard, all right, you know what you have from Tony Pollard, but he is coming off of an injury. You have no idea really about Malik Davis, and you have no idea about Vaughn and how he's going to be at the NFL level. And when you're looking at a team in the NFC that has a chance to make a run, if something happens to Tony Pollard or he's ineffective, can you rely on a Malik Davis? Can you rely on a Deuce Vaughn? And there is such a question mark with that having a veteran running back that knows what they're doing is a plus. And that's kind of what I'm hearing from Emmett. Emmett's looking at those running backs saying, boy, something happens to Pollard, this team is screwed.
Well, I mean, you could say the same thing about, what we heard about Dak Prescott when he got hurt last year.
Sure.
And nobody knew what Cooper Rush was going to be capable of doing. Everybody thought the season was done.
Yeah, I mean, Cooper Rush surprised everybody, but a veteran backup quarterback that was game ready, and they had a game plan that was solid.
I just think, I think Zeke Elliott, I'm not sure that how good would the Cowboys be if they had to rely on Zeke Elliott to carry the load? I just don't know. I mean, over the last couple of years, he's proven that he has been on the downhill slide. And so I'm not sure that that's the best option. I mean, it is an option, but I'm not sure it's the best option at this point in time. And if what Emmett is saying is we need somebody to back up Tony Pollard in case Tony Pollard can't get the job done or he gets hurt, man, I sure as hell hope there's somebody out there better than Zeke Elliott.
Well, but when you look at the list, the answer is no. There really is. I mean, what do you want, Leonard Fournette?
No.
I mean, he's just somebody different. I mean, where the advantage of bringing back Zeke, and again, I'm not advocating that they do this, but if they did, the reasoning is when you look at the veteran running backs that are available, that are all going to be post-June 1 cuts, that Zeke is at the top of that list. And he knows everything. He knows where he's going. He's a great teammate. And you can rely on him in short yardage situations. He's not going to take a 4-yard run and turn it into 50 anymore, but he'll get you that 3rd and 2 or that, 2nd and goal from the 3-yard line. He'll get you those 6 points.
So in other words, just pray that nothing happens to Tony Pollard, because if you got to rely on Zeke Elliott and he's getting you 2 yards a pop, guess what? Dak Prescott all of a sudden has no weapons. He's going to have to throw the football, and sometimes that's not a good thing.
No, I don't want Dak throwing it 40 times
I just don't see Zeke as the answer at all. I really don't. Now, if you're bringing him in as a backup to Tony Pollard,
absolutely, he would be.
Right. But if something happens to Pollard and you got to rely on Zeke Elliott, I just don't think you can. And I just don't think he's that guy anymore.
Well, he's not. And again, I don't think if something happened to Pollard that Zeke would become RB1. I think you have Malik Davis. You're going to have another guy that you could rely on. And what you're hearing from Emmitt Smith is he's not sure about Malik Davis, and he sure as hell isn't sure about 5'5" Deuce Vaughn. I mean, and that's what I'm hearing from Emmitt.
Get that completely. And I'm sure that the Kansas City Chiefs weren't sure about Pacheco last year, but guess what? That turned out pretty good. Sometimes you got to give these young fellas a chance to see what they can do. And I think, at least at this point in time, until Jerry and Steven prove me wrong and bring Zeke back, I think Malik Davis is the guy they're going to go with.
And I go back to, if the Cowboys were that concerned with what they had in the room, they would have drafted a running back a lot higher than Deuce Vaughn in the
that. I agree
round.
with, yes.
But I think Emmitt, probably one of those guys that has insurance on everything, is looking at that backfield, calling up his farmer's agent, trying to figure out where he can add in a little running back insurance.
Hey, it may happen. I don't want it to happen. I don't think it should happen. Let's go with somebody else.
It's the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Joshua Jimenez on YouTube says Deuce is the 2 of the 1-2 punch. It's in his name, Deuce. He also says Zach is a backup center.
Yeah, that didn't turn out too well.
We know that is a failed experiment. Minimum veteran running back with his years of service, I'd have to double check, but a small percentage of what he's used to making. But that's what he's going to get anywhere. If I'm Zeke, hell, I don't sign with anybody in June. I wait until the season, see if somebody gets hurt, and my price is going to be a little bit higher because that team is going to be desperate. If I'm Zeke, that's what I do.
Yeah,
stay in shape.
It's a good plan.
And be one of those veteran guys that can come in late. And the veteran move there is you don't have to go to training camp.
That I think that's a great move for Zeke Elliott. I mean, why not? Because somebody will come calling. It's going to happen. You know it's going to happen. So minimum salary, by the way, for a player that hits 4 years in the league is $900,000.
I think he would get more than that.
He might get a couple mil.
He's over 7. Now I would think, $2 million at the most with some incentives built in there.
Or you start him at $900,000 with a lot of incentives built in. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Maybe Jerry surprises me. I think Malik Davis is your guy.
And I like Malik Davis. I want to see him get an opportunity. We'll see. Hey, if you want to go see the San Antonio Missions play Tuesday night against those Corpus Christi Hooks out at Wolf Stadium, we've got a 4-pack of tickets and a parking pass that we'll give away right now in honor of Zeke. We'll go with his college number 15, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Caller 15. You're going to get yourself a family 4-pack of San Antonio Missions tickets for Tuesday night's game against the Corpus Christi Hooks. 2 USC journalism students have kissed their careers goodbye before it's gotten started. We'll explain their stupidity as we continue here on the Blitz.
If you missed R&R in the morning, then you missed this.
You don't want a light in your porta potty? I'm just saying, anybody ever look down into that blue hole of horrors? First, the last thing I need is a spotlight shining down on that swamp pit. Your shoe floating in there. Like, how did a shoe get in
I'm
there?
going to tell you something. You are a different cat. Like, I give you credit. If you can drop a deuce at Fiesta, you're a different type of cat. Bro, I will leave.
Be honest, it has happened. But when it does happen, it is
what are you doing?
Well, it's an emergency. It's not like I had time to decide.
Man, I've clenched as hard as possible. I'm not dropping a deuce. There's porta potties, and then there's Fiesta porta potties. There will be no deuce dropping at Fiesta porta potties.
It's an absolute emergency. It's that or
what you have, 3 buttons?
Wake up with Robin Rudy. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Gold. If you've been thinking of how to secure the value of your assets and grow your wealth, think gold. Think Noble Gold. Hi, Jason Minix here for Noble Gold the latest bank failures and other economic news that could devalue the dollar, gold is a safe investment to secure your wealth. And if you're not sure what to do, that's not a problem. Go to noblegoldinvestments.com. They'll walk you through everything. They will email you their gold and silver investors guide. Do this. Go look at the price of gold in 1970 up until today. It was about $35 an ounce, and the long-term trend will blow you away. A lot of folks wish they would have bought back then in an IRA or even physical gold. Don't wish you did this down the road. Take the time to go to the website today. Go to noblegoldinvestments.com. You're welcome to use promo code STAR for a free 5-ounce America the Beautiful coin they're offering people that qualify. noblegoldinvestments.com. Mark it down to do today. noblegoldinvestments.com.
Carrie, is this schedule the most updated?
There's a wedding season rush at Dr. Iona's dental practice.
You're fully booked this week. We can try and squeeze you in next Tuesday.
She needs a dental hygienist to unveil fresh smiles.
How long has 3 been under the UV light?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $16. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
If you own a small business, you know the value of time. GetRefunds.com does too. That's why they've made it easy, no matter how busy you are, to apply for the Employee Retention Credit, or ERC. Go to GetRefunds.com to get started, and in less than 8 minutes, see if your business qualifies for ERC assistance. Your business may be eligible for a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee kept on payroll during COVID-19. GetRefunds.com has already helped clients claim over $3 billion in payroll tax refunds through the ERC, and they may be able to help your business too. There's no upfront charge either. They don't get paid until your business gets its refund. Many businesses believe they won't qualify based on incomplete or outdated information. So don't let this opportunity pass you by, because this payroll tax refund is only available for a limited time. Go to GetRefunds.com. That's GetRefunds.com.
Smoker's Paradise, your premium smoke shop. Fully stocked to shop everything you need for your smoking needs under one roof. Vaporizers, disposable e-cigarettes, hookah accessories, water pipes, cigars, and more. With 13 area locations, including the newest location at Callahan and I-10. Visit smokersparadise.com. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Come to Generations Federal Credit Union for a great competitive rate on a home equity loan. Consolidate debt, pay off credit cards, renovate your home, and more. With flexible terms, fixed rates, and minimal closing costs. All with easy applications and fast local decisions. Apply today at Generations Federal Credit Union.
Rates and terms subject to approval and may change without notice. Full terms and conditions at mygenfcu.org/homeequity. Equal housing lender.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it gonna work? Guys, I'm going to let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pure Line Nutrition.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson, and this is 94.1, San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. We're out at the Techport Center. Viva La Brawl happening tonight. Big fight night by Davies Entertainment. Doors open at 5:30. It's going to be a fun night here at the Techport.
6 fights taking place out here tonight. And we've had the opportunity to meet some of the participants, and they're fired up. They're ready to go.
It's going to be fun. Now, if you haven't been out to the Techport Center, I've been out here for 3 different concerts, and it's a great place. They got lots of cold beer. And in the last commercial break, I used their wonderful facilities here. And they got a lot of porcelain in this place, and it's all nice. But you know what I noticed, Joe?
What's that?
They have real paper towels.
No.
You know, you wash your hands and you go to the paper towels. Like, man, these are not. And then I realized that they're Scott.
They're Scott.
I mean, they're high-end paper towels.
How about that?
In the bathrooms here at the Techport Center.
That's probably better than you have.
At the house?
Yeah.
No. But it's better than what we have at the radio station.
Well, my gosh.
I mean,
are you kidding?
The sandpaper that Alpha Media offers up. I mean, not that I've done it here, but I imagine if you've got those kind of paper towels, they probably, ladies, have good toilet paper here too. Although I haven't checked that out yet.
Well, I may have to check that out. I mean, I'll be wandering in there.
You'll be on TP patrol.
Yeah, I will. I'll do that reporting, and I'll have an update for you coming up.
I would love to tell you about the food here, but Greg Shelton hasn't moved. Greg was going to go check the dining area to give us a list of the restaurants here, but this lazy ass is just trying to see what he has online as opposed to just walking 58 feet to see.
Smoky Moe's.
There's a Smoky Moe's here?
Is there really?
According, we'll see.
Oh, look at here.
There's a capo. So
that looks good.
People walk by with food.
Yeah.
Earl Labels is here. I mean,
Wow.
you're a radio engineer with a microphone, yet you want to yell at us. I mean, because you haven't plugged in your microphone. A great radio engineer that is doing yeoman's type work on a Friday afternoon.
That's all right, Sheldon. I'll translate and be all right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or you could walk and just take pictures of the menu too, so we can figure out what we want to eat. You know, there's a
La Tienda de Beria.
Sure.
That's what it says.
That's what it says.
Mr. G Sushi. Smoky Moe's. Savage.
Dude, Smoky Moe's.
Savage Coffee Company.
Smoky Moe's has a great Frito pie.
Really?
Yes.
So does Bohannon's,
with
by
brisket?
the way.
Well, no, they don't have it on the menu.
That they need to.
I mean, that was just for special events.
Well, it's not a bad lineup. Plus, they do have the regular, the good hot dogs, hamburgers, and all of that stuff. So,
well, you didn't say that earlier. You were disparaging hot dogs
I
earlier.
was not disparaging.
That was disparaging.
No, it was not.
The question, though, on your hot dog is what kind of mustard? And would it be Michael Jimenez approved?
Michael doesn't know what different mustards are. We found that out today.
Say that again, Pledge.
What
was that?
That was Jimenez trying to figure out which one was the Whataburger mustard today, and his response to trying it was
Well, but then he also used the term mustard DNA as if mustard is a living thing. So we won't be taste testing mustards.
No, that won't be a part of the
Blitz.
show. But, I love Michael Jimenez because, he thinks he knows a lot more than he actually does.
Well, and then the moonwalk Michael Jackson style coming through the radio after Tim Spence completely obliterated him during that segment was fantastic.
It really was.
Yes.
He had to backtrack a lot today.
Well, that's normal.
Because he had basically buried the Warriors.
Yeah.
After one game.
Yeah.
He had to unbury them.
I think there's a term for that.
There is.
Did he actually unbury them? Did he dig them up from the grave?
He did. I don't know if he had them completely in the grave, but he had them halfway.
Is he digging a hole?
Poor Steph Curry was just about to get some dirt tossed in his face.
And instead it was Jimenez that got covered up.
Yes. Uh-huh.
It's all right. You always need a cold body in your lineup.
Well, yeah. Yeah. It's a minute to cold body.
You get that?
Well, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Cold fish?
Dead fish, yeah. Uh-huh.
It's Friday.
Sleeping with the fishes.
Do Sports Center.
This is The Blitz. KTFM, Floresville, and always at ESPNSA.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
The NBA playoffs continue tonight. A couple of games on the schedule. The Boston Celtics, they're in Philly tonight. That series is all tied up in one game apiece. And the Denver Nuggets, they're traveling out to Phoenix. They're speaking of burying somebody. They're trying to bury the Suns. The Nuggets have a 2-0 series lead. And Marcus Smart, the guard for the Celtics, the winner of this year's Hustle Award. First player to win that award 2 years in a row. The Blitz continues right now.
Sports Center is brought to you by Kielbasa Slow Crafted Sausage, available at your local grocery stores.
Joe Reinagel.
For the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix out at the Tech Port Center for Viva La Brawl happening tonight at Cinco de Mayo. It's fight night in San Antonio. It's a Friday. Come on out, man. There's tickets available for the fight tonight, and you know it's going to be a good time.
Absolutely. Come on out and say hello to us because you can't miss us. Right when you walk through the door,
well,
you're going to be able to see us.
That's not true.
No?
No.
That's the front door.
But that's not the door people come through.
Oh, it's not?
See, they have to go down that and through those doors that you can't see. Behind these closed doors, you come in over there, and then you walk by the bar, all the food court, which Greg Shelton still hasn't gone to. And then you come through these doors to get ready to walk into the arena, which is where we are.
Oh, well, there's a big parking lot right in front of us.
But
so
you can't come in here.
That's the VIP lot.
Yes.
Oh, so you still can't walk through these doors?
You cannot walk through these doors.
Well, you know what? I'll let you in. Come on. We're right here.
There's all these security people here that are going to prevent you from doing that. You can't lie to the people.
I'll try to let you in. How about that?
Dude, you're not getting up any more than Greg Shelton is. I mean, Greg Shelton got locked out, and we both sat here, and this 6-7-year-old little girl that the kid of somebody working one of the merchandise stands went and let everybody in. She's 4.
She's nice.
She's only 4?
She's 4 years old? Wow.
Future WNBA player right there.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you
She's
what.
tall for 4.
Yeah, I thought she was
I'm
older
bad at
than
guessing kids' ages.
I thought she was
now that
older
mine
than
is
that.
24, although she's about the size of my 24-year-old.
She's really the brains of that operation, though. I can tell that right now.
She really is.
She's telling everybody what to do. She had the keys earlier.
Yeah, she's 4 going on 24.
So she was letting people in and locking people out and all that stuff. So.
Absolutely. That's one hell of a helper right there.
I'm telling you.
Uh-huh. She's getting a Happy Meal later. She gets to choose where they're going to dinner.
Well, she should.
Coming up in a few minutes, we'll get you ready for the Kentucky Derby with an expert, because neither Reinagel or myself should be able, by law, to give you any horse betting advice on the Derby. But our good friend Frank Alosa is a handicapper, and he buys and sells racing horses for a living. His official title thing is bloodstock agent, but I
got to find out what the hell that means.
It doesn't sound, I don't know. I mean, like he's working for Dracula or the morgue, one of the two.
Well, I was wondering, when he hands out cards, people are going, oh, hey.
Well, I think if you're in the horse racing business, you understand exactly what that means.
Maybe so.
That means you listen to that guy.
Well, we're going to listen to him.
Well, and what he does is he spends rich people's money.
Oh, nice.
I mean, because it's not like it's his money that he's buying horses for. It's, some guy that, some millionaire type that says, here, Frank, here's, your budget of $500,000, go to the horse show and buy me some horses that will win me some money.
There's a lot of pressure, though, doing that. If somebody hands you half, and it's probably, I don't know what a racehorse costs. It's probably more than $500,000, isn't it?
Well, no, it depends. I mean, you can get a horse for $5,000, $25,000, $100,000. It all depends.
Well, there's not one that's racing in the Kentucky Derby for $5,000. I promise you that.
You would be surprised.
$5,000.
You would be surprised. I mean, look up, because I met this guy at a bar in Florida, Hollywood Beach, Florida.
He tried to sell you a horse for $5,000?
No, but he's one of the owners of Tis the Law, which was a fairly inexpensive horse, and they rode that thing to a Kentucky Derby win.
I'm going to ask Frank what the average cost is, and if there's any in the field this year that are $5,000.
Well, I mean, I imagine there's going to be one that probably at some point along the way, $1,000 horse.
Well, we'll see. We'll ask Frank. He'll know the answer.
He'll know the answer to
He
that.
will.
Yeah. Frank has yet, though, to get a horse into the Kentucky Derby.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I got a couple
He
of.
had one about 2 years ago that was on its way, and then it got hurt leading up to the Derby. But anyway,
That's too bad.
Frank Alosa in about 10 minutes, but it is 4:05.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Two guys, two opinions, never enough time.
It is time for the Headline Blitz, and we'll start with two USC journalism students that have killed their careers over stupidity. I mean, stupid. If you've got college-age kids, you shouldn't have to tell them this, but if you're doing something for work, and even though it seems cool, if you steal something, you're probably going to get caught.
Yeah, you probably are, especially in a place that has the security of the NFL draft.
Mm-hmm.
Are you kidding me?
So these knucklehead college students, and I say knucklehead, one is an undergrad student, so, I'm guessing somewhere between 18 and 21. The other, a grad student that is a U.S. Army veteran. These guys in the USC journalism department were covering the draft in Kansas City, so they had, the access backstage and areas, but even with a media credential, there are areas you're not allowed to go in. They went into one of those areas, and they stole some jerseys, a Cowboys jersey, a 49ers jersey, and I don't know, some other team that, those jerseys were there with the one on them. And then, as the player's card comes in, they put the nameplate on and go on stage, and there you go. Well, these guys stole these jerseys out of the room. Guess what? There's cameras everywhere. Now, they probably thought they were getting away with it because the cops nabbed them on the airplane. They had boarded the plane, but then the cops were able to check their luggage, and they found the jerseys.
Oh, my
idiots.
Gosh. Yeah, that's when you got to have a big old donkey head, right? Remember the cartoons? Yeah, and you just oh, my gosh, because they probably thought they were home free.
Mm-hmm.
You were on the plane, we're ready to take off, and then all of a sudden you're not. That's just dumb. What does that say about USC people?
Yeah, I could make jokes there.
Yes, I know.
I could make jokes there.
USC. That's not a nice representation of USC. I can tell you that.
It's not. And again, USC, quote, while limited by student privacy laws and what we can share, we are cooperating with authorities in this matter and will follow our internal processes with respect to any allegations of misconduct. That's what USC said in a statement to the LA Times.
So allegations, if you open up a suitcase and the jerseys are in there, I don't think you have to allege anymore.
Well, I mean,
what are you going to say? Well, I don't know how they got in there.
The question is, police did recover the Cowboys and 49ers jersey as they searched the students' baggage after arresting them at the airport. The Vikings jersey that was missing, they haven't found it yet.
Kirk Cousins has it. He needed a new number.
Well, I mean, Kirk Cousins isn't getting a new number, certainly from the Vikings, and not number one. But former UTSA Roadrunner Marcus Davenport is getting a new number with his new team, the Minnesota Vikings, and it's number 0.
And I saw that Coach Traylor, after Marcus put that on Twitter, birds out.
210. I mean, and you think about what the number 0 means for the UTSA Roadrunners. He's carrying that triangle of toughness to the Twin Cities.
I wonder if Frank Harris had to sign off on that, even though it's not with.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
I don't know. That kind of belongs to Frank Harris
in San Antonio.
He's a wily veteran of the UTSA Roadrunners.
I mean, 7 years.
Yeah,
7-year starter.
Congratulations to Marcus Davenport. Gonna wear 0. That's gonna look funny on a big dude like Marcus Davenport.
It is. I just hope for Marcus. I mean, for being a first-round draft pick out of UTSA and the Saints being what they have been. Not that I expect anything great from the Minnesota Vikings. I just hope he's in a better situation now, and hopefully he'll have a little bit more success and, more importantly, can stay healthy in Minnesota. That's been a big part of of his problems so far during his NFL career, staying healthy.
Yeah, that's a problem. I wish him all the best. Obviously, Minnesota is what kind of team they're going to have this year, but there's some stars on that team. And
dude, I look at, with Aaron Rodgers out and all the love going to Detroit right now.
Yeah.
Because the Bears are still going to suck, just maybe not as much as they did last year.
They're going to suck.
But Minnesota, they have some weapons and a Kirk Cousins. And I think that's part of the problem, right? But you look at some of the receiving weapons they have, Cook in the backfield. Their defense is solid. I mean, Minnesota will have a chance. I mean, everybody in the NFC North is pointing towards Detroit, because Green Bay you expect to fall off quite a bit. The Bears are the Bears, but I wouldn't just completely write off Minnesota just yet.
Well, I'm not writing them off because I, unlike a lot of people, I kind of think Kirk Cousins is okay. I mean, he has his moments, obviously, but I think he's an okay quarterback. Not bad.
Well, I mean, he's not.
He and Dak Prescott are the same guy.
According to Kyle Brandt, Good Morning Football, when you look at how Kyle did his quarterback tiers, they are. Jalen Hurts, the number one, the only guy in tier 1 quarterbacks, according to Kyle Brandt from the NFL Network. Tier 2, he's got Dak, he's got Kirk, and he's got Matt Stafford.
There you go. Same guys.
Tier 3, Derek Carr, Jared Goff, Geno Smith.
Okay.
Tier 4, Danny Dimes or Danny Dollars, Fields, Justin Fields, and Kyler Murray.
Kyler may be a little high for Murray.
Yeah, tier 5, he's got Baker Mayfield and Brock Purdy.
Yeah, maybe Murray belongs there.
Tier 6, Trey Lance, Desmond Ridder, Sam Howell.
Well, Trey Lance, I can see that, but I'm not sure he's even. I don't know how you put him there.
But tier 7, he's got Bryce Young. All by himself.
Well, Carolina says they're not going to rush him into the lineup. They're going to take their time with him. So,
when you think about that list of NFC quarterbacks,
yeah.
I think Matt Stafford is up there mainly because of career achievement, if you will. He's the only NFC quarterback that has won a Super Bowl.
Well, and Outkick has a quarterback ranking, and they've got Matt Stafford is the only tier 1 guy.
Career achievement.
It must be.
Career achievement.
It must be. They cite injuries and bad luck.
Bad luck. He got out of Detroit and went to L.A.
Well, he did.
That was all the good luck he could. Last year.
I'm talking about last year.
Yeah. Well,
they had some rotten luck out there.
Let's talk Kentucky Derby with an expert when we continue here on the Blitz. Bloodstock agent Frank Alosa joins us next. When you need an electrician, Hill Electric is available to you 24/7 for residential and commercial needs. And I tell you, I've used Hill Electric for a variety of projects at my house, and Hill Electric was at my house this morning. I had a light switch that just stopped working. It wouldn't turn on the light. I ain't fixing it. Hill Electric was there. They got it fixed in a hurry. That's what they do. Easy project like what I had today or anything major. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. They always have the right service at the right price. Never a service charge, always free estimates. So call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. 404-9074 or hill-electric.com.
Without the ones like you who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Staples has everything to help small businesses do big things. Shipping supplies and services so you can fill big orders. The latest tech so you can create the next big thing. And now during Staples Small Business Deal Days, when rewards members spend $100 or more, they get $30 back in rewards to use on big things, little things, or anything they need. Plus, find new deals in-store every week on tech, office chairs, and shipping supplies. Because for small businesses, Staples knows savings are a big thing. Rewards offer ends 5/13. Limit 1. Redeemable in-store only.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY. ACY.
I'm Howard Mackler, founder of Innovation Refunds. You've heard me talking about the payroll tax refund for months. If you want to be about this, you owe it to yourself to take another look. We provide a licensed and insured tax attorney who evaluates your company at my expense to determine eligibility. Businesses of all types can qualify, so go to getrefunds.com to potentially get a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. Download the Innovation Refunds app or go to getrefunds.com, getrefunds.com.
It's Michael Jimenez with Jimenez and Spence, weekdays 12 to 3. People ask all the time, how can we become part of the San Antonio Sports Star family? Well, if you have a business, reach out to us for sponsorship opportunities. You can advertise with San Antonio Sports Star with all of our talent here. Reach out to Morgan Harrison at morgan.harrison@alphamediausa.com. After that, she will get you in touch with one of our professional sales reps and get you going. Again, reach out to Morgan Harrison at morgan.harrison@alphamediausa.com.
I want to welcome our newest partner of R&R in the Morning and the Sports Star team. You may have heard of them. They're located just off of 281 in Bitters in a big, newly remodeled space. San Antonio's premier card house, SA Card House. That's right. All of our poker-playing listeners tuning in, SA Card House is a must-visit. It offers a beautiful atmosphere, clean, inviting, top-notch customer service for your poker-playing pleasure. SA Card House brings San Antonio a completely new vibe to card houses, offering games for all skill levels, from beginners to professional level poker players. SA Card House welcomes all. If you have not seen them yet, SA Card House is located just off 281 North at Bitters. Has an attached full bar and grill with made-to-order daily specials. This is not your typical card house. SA Card House is a private social club that is accepting new memberships. Visit sacardhouse.com for more info and stop in for a quick drink to check the space out. SA Card House at Bitters and 281.
I was in a terrible car accident. I suffered a traumatic brain injury and also injured my spine. My daughter-in-law called Jeff Davis. After expenses and attorney fees, I received $86,559. I want everyone in San Antonio to know Jeff was here for me.
I'm Jeff Davis. If you were injured by a car or large truck, call me at my San Antonio office at 444-4444. That's 444-4444. There's only one number to remember, and that's 4.
Live on the Zone pay-per-view, the King is coming home. Undisputed champion Canelo Alvarez returns to his city to defend his titles against John Ryder. It's all on the line. Witness the historic homecoming May 6th, live only on the Zone pay-per-view. Sign up at DAZN.com.
Ribs, burgers, chicken. Submit what you grilled or smoked, and you could win a $50 gift card from Tri-County Meat Market.
So good and tasty?
Grilling with the Blitz.
Monday on R&R in the Morning, we breaking down the NBA playoffs and what happened over the weekend and giving out the victory cigar and Swisher Sweets at 7:30. Now back to the Blitz. I'll see you boys in a few hours down there at Techport Arena.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix, and we are at the Techport Arena, the Techport Center. Viva La Brawl, big fight night here in San Antonio on this Cinco de Mayo. But tomorrow, it's all about the Kentucky Derby. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. And good friend Frank Alosa joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. His official title is Bloodstock Agent.
Ouch.
Which seems like some weird, I don't know, job. But in reality, he's a handicapper and he buys racehorses for a living. He spends rich people's money to buy horses to make them even more money. Is that fair and accurate, Frank?
Well, that's the goal. That's certainly the goal. Doesn't always work out that way, but that's the goal. It's fair and accurate. I'll tell you this. Wait, Jason, I gotta. I mean, you know, for full transparency, I worked at KTSA. It was nice to hear the Fours commercial again. The 444 lawyer. Like, it was nice to hear that. I can't tell you how long it's been since I've heard that.
You know, Jeff Davis will certainly appreciate that.
He will.
I'm guessing. And I did. I mean, Frank used to work here in San Antonio. He left the radio business to become a bloodstock agent. But I will say the only time I've ever won real money, like walking out of Retama Park with hundreds of dollars, was listening to this guy's advice on betting horses, whether it's live racing at Retama or at the Kentucky Derby. So with the Derby tomorrow, I reach out to Frank. And for the record, Frank, and in full transparency, Joe and I will have a beer bet later where we will pick a horse, not the favorite, because we're not allowed to pick for but there's a beer bet on the line. So give Joe some advice, but you know what I'm saying here, right?
Yeah, exactly. Whatever he thinks is going to win, I'll just tell him.
Yeah, he's more clueless than I am.
Well, I'm not as clueless as I look.
That's not true.
I'm not as clueless as I look, and I look pretty clueless. But, you know, Frank, you look at the Kentucky Derby, and I got to ask you this question before we get into the horses, because Jason and I were having this conversation. And first of all, a horse that races in the Kentucky Derby, what does a horse like that typically cost?
Well, it depends. I mean, there's a horse in here that costs $1 million and change, and then there's some horses that people $1.3 million is Tappet Trice, the 5 horse. He cost $1.3 million as a baby. There's a $775,000 horse in here, and then there's some horses in here that cost $25,000, or they were bred by the owners. So, I mean, it's kind of a wide range. That's the cool part of this point in the 3-year-old year, is you kind of have a wide range of what horses cost, or if they're homebreds for people, meaning they actually own the mare and delivered the baby, and then they raised it and took it to the races. So it's kind of a cross section of the sales, the horse buying and selling business in the Kentucky Derby every year.
And I know, just because you and I have been friends for a long time, you've bought a horse for $5,000 that has done extremely well. You've bought horses for several $100,000 that turned out not to be so great, right? I mean, that's just the nature of the business.
Oh, yeah.
When was the last time, say, a $5,000 to $50,000 horse won the Kentucky Derby?
Well, what was the year that horse from New Mexico won? He came up the rail with Calvin Burrell. I can't think of the horse's name, but I think he cost like $5,500 as a yearling.
I remember that.
Kentucky. Well, I can't remember that horse's name, but he beat like a very heavily favored horse. Calvin Burrell rode him. He was trained by a New Mexico-based trainer, and the guy hauled the horse all the way to Kentucky from New Mexico. The name's escaping me, but that's probably the most reasonably priced Derby winner. I mean, last year, a horse that was bought out of a race for $30,000 won it and beat some $1 million horses. That's what they cost at auction. But it doesn't matter when they line them up. Paper, cost of the horse, you know, how big they are, how small they are. That's the beauty of the Derby, is it's a true test of these young 3-year-old horses.
You know, Frank, you always hear, and I believe this statement, that these horses are like athletes. So when you're going out and you're buying a horse, what exactly are you looking for that might lead you to believe it's going to be a successful horse?
Well, there's something we use. It's very subjective, but we call them angles, right? There's certain angles on a horse, and it's kind of a visual medium, and this is not that, so it's a little tough to explain. But you use the word athlete. Athleticism is not something that you can cheat, right? You either are athletic or you're not. So at sales, we walk these horses a lot. Sometimes we see them actually run, depending on the sale. So there's a lot that goes into the mechanics of the way they move, how they use their body. If they're, just using their front end, their hind end when they move, you're looking for a horse that sort of complements itself in the way it moves. And athleticism is something you can't cheat. You're either an athlete or you're not. And that's as simple as it comes. So that's the biggest thing, is their ability to move with someone walking them, obviously, because that's, they have a handler, and, how they use their body is a sign of athletic ability. And that's what we judge. We're trying to buy athletes. We're not trying to buy horses in the end. We're trying to buy the most athletic individuals.
Frank Alosa joining us here on the Blitz. He buys race horses for a living. He is a handicapper, officially on his business card, bloodstock agent, but nobody knows what the hell that means. Frank, you talk about buying athletes, and Ryan Eagle, will go to the track, and he's not looking at the athletic build of a horse. He's looking for the one that takes a crap right before the race. Is that a good way to make your wagers on a horse?
It's lighter, right? I mean, it makes sense.
Well, it depends. Like, did he watch some videos of these horses galloping on Twitter this week and see one crap? Because I'll tell him that that's the one he should make the beer bet on. No, it doesn't really make a difference. Usually it's kind of a sign. I mean, it's just a sign of general like anxiety or nervousness. I mean, like horses know, they train in the mornings and they're usually done by 10:30, 11 o'clock. So all of a sudden, it's in the afternoon, it's getting darker or the sun's on the other side or not used to. And so it's more anxiety or nervousness. But for Joe's purposes, yes, always bet the gray horse and the one that goes crap right before the start.
The gray horse that takes a dump right before the race.
It makes perfect sense to
unload
me.
your bank account.
Yeah,
unload your bank account if the gray one does.
That horse is 10 pounds lighter right there.
And it's always the number 2 horse. I just, exactly. No, Frank, I look at the Kentucky Derby, and I'm a big fan of Todd Pletcher because he's a San Antonio guy from Madison. He's got 3 horses in this race in the Kentucky Derby tomorrow, and all 3 of them are high favorites. Which one of the Todd Pletcher horses do you think will actually win tomorrow?
Well, Forte is going to go off as the favorite, and probably rightfully so, but his last race didn't do as much for me as his previous races, so I look at him as a potential regression horse. The best horse I think he unloads tomorrow, that's Todd Pletcher, is the 5 Tapit Trice. He actually cost $1.3 million as a yearling, as a 1-year-old horse, and he kind of has the style necessary in this race. He's more of a grinder. He likes to come from off the pace, so he'll probably sit about mid-pack. And if his jockey, Luis Saez, can get the horse to the outside, I think that's Todd's best chance to win. I am against Forte. He is your favorite on the morning line. He'll be your favorite when they spring the gate tomorrow. I'm fully against him. I'm using Tapit Trice because I think that's Todd's best chance, and it's tough to say Todd Pletcher doesn't have a chance. So I'm using Tapit Trice over Forte.
When you look at these horses, Frank, and some of the odds, and I'm looking at the odds here, and I always, being the novice that I am when it comes to betting on horses, I'll go in and I like the 8-1, 10-1, maybe even a 12-1 horse. Is that a good way to look at that? Some like a mid-odd kind of horse?
Yeah, I mean, especially in the Derby, there's 19 horses in tomorrow. Usually it's 20. It's kind of a wild scramble into the first turn. So when you're looking at these races, you're trying to find the horse that's going to be able to put themselves close enough or in the least amount of trouble. So that's generally not down on the inside and not a horse that's going to be, 50 lengths back when they get to the backstretch. You don't really want that horse, the one that gets himself in trouble or is too far back in the Derby, especially in 2023. So yeah, I mean, if you see a horse in that 8-15-1 range that you have a strong opinion about, I say go to the window. Like, this is the perfect race to do it because it's so wide open. It's such a pack of horses. It's a herd of horses that anything can happen in this race. And very rarely do you see the first and second choices in the betting finish 1-2. It's just very rare.
Frank Alosa, professional handicapper and buyer of racehorses. So when you go to the window tomorrow, because I know you when we were chatting earlier, you were doing all your homework. What's the ticket that you're gonna really put your money in on?
Well, when I handicap the Derby, I'm looking for a horse that's improving with distance of ground, and that this year for me is Angel of Empire, the 14. Brad Cox trains the horse. Brad is now an established name in the horse racing game. He kind of burst on the scene about 10 years ago, but he's getting very good horses. This is a horse that has continually improved with the more racing he has gotten and as the distance of the races have gotten longer. No one in this field has been 10 furlongs, 1.25 miles of the Derby. But this is a horse with a running style where he can sit mid-pack and make a huge run off the turn, because that is the key. You have to be rolling at about the 3/8 pole to the 1/4 mile pole from home, because it is such a scramble. You need to get ahead of the other horses that start to scramble. So you have to be able to make a move. This horse has that ability to sustain that move through the wire, in my opinion.
Frank, and I've got to ask you.
8-1. He's 8-1 on the morning line. So there's value right there.
Well, when you look at a horse, and especially in the Kentucky Derby, because that's what we're talking about, you don't want a horse, I'm assuming, that takes the lead right off the bat. You want one that's going to come from the pack. Is that accurate?
that's usually how I handicap these races because I anticipate some of these horses are going to go out there. I anticipate the fractions, the opening quarter mile of the race is probably 22 and change. Half mile of the race will be in 45 and change, 46 seconds, which is fast. I mean, that is fast. And this is a 10 furlong race. So a half mile means you still have 3/4 of a mile left to run. When they turn for home, that's usually when those front end horses kind of hit a wall. If a horse gets out there, goes front end, that's when you see like an authentic run off the screen a few years back and Justify the Light. But in this case, like I don't see those types of horses in here. So if they do carve out those fractions, 22 and change, 46 or so to the half mile, and you'll see it on your screen when you're watching, they flash the time, you'll know that it's a quick pace. And if that is the case, that's why I always like those horses that can sit mid-pack and have the necessary speed, or I like to call it the turn of foot necessary late in the race to be able to kick forward.
So, Frank, if I go up to the window tomorrow and I go 14, 5, and 6, is my parlay there? Am I going to win any money?
Yeah, do it in the exacta box. I actually have the race 14 with the 2 and 5 potentially to finish second and third or second in there, and then the 11, 15, 17, and 22 to pick up a piece third and fourth. I think the 14 to me, just improving is the way to go. That's Angel of Empire. Verifying is another good horse. He's 15-1 on the morning line. I think he's just getting good. I don't know if he's ready to go a mile and a quarter, but I think he can hang on for second or third. And the 5 Tapit Trice, as I told you before, I think he's Todd Pletcher's best chance to hit the board tomorrow. He could win, but I don't think he's ready for this. I don't think he's the type of horse that can actually win tomorrow. I think if this race was in a month, he could win the race.
What about Kingsbarn?
I don't love him. His last race to me was a bit phony. I mean, he went to the front very easily. He never really had to work. He had tons of horse left late because no one challenged him. He carved out very slow fractions. That's not going to happen tomorrow. He's not going to get the same trip. He's going to run into adversity tomorrow for the first time in his career.
All right, Frank, then as long as we're asking about particular horses, I'm going to throw one in there. What about, I've heard a lot about this 2 Phils. What do you think about that horse?
Okay, so interesting horse, right? So the Derby is run on dirt, right? It's a dirt clay mix. His best race came over a synthetic track, which is essentially like shaved up carpet and rubber pellets. It's like what the NFL teams have turned to, like that rubber pellet mix kind of stuff.
Sounds like your living room.
Right, exactly. So he kind of ran over like essentially like a carpet surface, and that was his best race to date. Do I think he has a chance? Sure, maybe for fourth, if that. I just don't think that form translates when you get on dirt. Running on dirt or turf or that synthetic surface, they're all so different. And the dirt, when you get that kickback where he's going to get it, I just don't know if he runs through it the same way as he did last time.
What 2 Phils is he named after?
They're Chicago owners, so I think it's something related to Chicago.
I think it's the father and son is what I
was just
heard,
seeing
so.
if Frank would just know because he seems to know everything else about these guys.
Well, and one of the owners is a Phillip, but Patricia's Hope, who's been a long-time owner in this game, Patricia's Hope LLC actually owns a good chunk of this horse too. So, but all those owners, including the trainer, are all Chicago guys. So they all shipped in from Chicago about 4 or 5 days ago.
Frank Alosa joining us here on the Blitz. And again, that is why you just heard why he's my go-to guy. And I know when he was living in San Antonio, Frank, I hope it's okay I tell this story. He was doing all kinds of stuff out at Retama, and some of the jockeys would come in. They would stay at Frank's house, and he would just open up the dresser drawer and stack them up in there, and that's how they slept at his place.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, it was easy. It was, quick, cheap rent, 1-bedroom apartment with 17 people living there. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, but I mean, you charged them all a ton of money. It was fantastic. You go over to his house and you have all these jockeys just pulling out of the dresser.
He's a smart man.
My gambling and beer debt really started to rack up, so I look forward to the meet.
Absolutely, Frank. And you
wait,
can follow.
Wait, before we go.
What?
Wait, before we go. What are the horses on the beer bet? You can't bail off the phone with me. Like, who do you have? And you can't pick Angel of Empire, Joe. You can't. I just did.
Well, because I am. We're going to
Are
make
you in the beer bet with us? Is that what you're saying? Is that what I'm hearing?
He'll get all the beer, although knowing Frank, if he loses, he's not going to pay up.
I have your bet, Mo.
I'll walk into the Rue Pub, and there'll be a Miller Lite paid for by Frank Alosa. We've got
they
to
might
figure it
still
out.
have my old debit card on file there.
I'm
use happy to know that.
Yeah, well, James Pledger uses it often because he spells your name on our YouTube live channel F-R-A-M-K. So, I mean, it works out pretty good. Frank, text me later who I should take in the beer bet.
All right, you bet. I will.
You can text Joe, too. Text him 2 Phils or something.
See you, Frank.
I'll
Thanks,
text him.
man.
All right, guys.
Good stuff. Follow Frank on Twitter at Frank Alosa. Guy knows what he's talking about.
He does, man. That was good stuff.
It's a sickness, actually. But when it's...
I think it'd be a fascinating job, actually.
Yeah, I mean, because you're serious. I mean,
right?
although if you make enough bad purchases, he's back in radio. So I mean,
right,
but this guy, I mean, the books and the studying that he has to do, and then you go to these big horse sales, and from 5 a.m. till 10 o'clock at night, you're doing nothing but looking at horses and smelling horse crap. I mean,
at least you're getting paid for it. Well, some people smell horse crap and don't.
Really, who smells horse crap that doesn't get paid?
Well.
If you're working at the track, you're getting paid somehow, but then you might have to sleep in a dresser. That's a true story, by the way.
That's not a true.
That is
story.
A 100%
sleep in a drawer.
100% true story.
Oh.
One was in the top drawer, and one was in the bottom drawer. Swear to God. It's the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. If you're shopping for a new vehicle, you need to go see my friends at Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram Truck, part of the Ancira Auto Complex. Very easy for me to tell you about and recommend Ancira because I am a long-time Ancira customer, and it's because of their great customer service before, during, and most importantly, after the sale. That great customer service is why Ancira has been a top family-run dealership in San Antonio for decades. And price made Ancira number one. Price keeps Ancira number one. So think Ancira. Ancira Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram Truck, part of the Ancira Auto Complex on I-10 West between Wurzbach and Huebner.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
How about a little big league baseball? The Rangers and Astros are back at it tonight. In fact, the Rangers out west taking on the LA Angels. You can hear that game right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star beginning at 8 o'clock. Astros are in Seattle. First pitch there set for 9:10. And Tom Brady says it's all fake news. He might not walk away from Fox after all in $375 million. The Blitz continues next.
The XFL Championship game is here. In a league of dreams and opportunities, there's only one chance to be a champion. The road to the XFL Championship ends in San Antonio. The best of the North versus the best of the South. The DC Defenders versus the Arlington Renegades. Who will emerge the winner? The 2023 XFL Championship game, Saturday, May 13th at 7 p.m. at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio. Defenders versus Renegades. XFL history will be made. Tickets are on sale now starting at $25. Visit xfl.com/tickets.
The greatest American rock and roll band in history, Aerosmith, presents Peace Out, the Farewell Tour. Aerosmith, with special guest the Black Crows. AT&T Center, November 1st. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. Aerosmith with the Black Crows, the Farewell Tour. Peace Out.
Inflation has pushed up the cost of just about everything, which means if you bought life insurance a few years ago, it might not be enough to protect your family today. Now is the time to get the insurance you need at a price you can afford. In a hurry? Don't worry. Call Select Quote now and get up to $2 million in instant, affordable, same-day coverage with no medical exam. That's right. you can get up to $2 million in instant, affordable, same-day coverage with no medical exam in under an hour.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-613-8990. That's 1-800-613-8990. Or go to SelectQuote.com now and get up to $2 million in instant, affordable, same-day coverage with no medical exam. That's 1-800-613-8990. Or go to SelectQuote.com now. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercial.
Guys, fellas, men, do you want a better sex life? Roman has genuine medication that helps you achieve and maintain what you need to perform. Roman has discreet wipes that help you last 4 times longer in bed. Roman has testosterone testing and treatment. Treating low testosterone can help revive your sex drive. So men, what are you waiting for? For a better sex life, go to ro.co/bettersex. Do it today and get 20% off. That's ro.co/bettersex.
At Total Wine & More, save big on what you love this month with hundreds of deals. Get up to 35% off over 100 different wines and spirits, including Cabernet, sparkling wine, single barrel bourbon, and so much more. These savings are huge, and even better, they're on top of prices that are already the lowest in town. Deals this good don't last long, so visit Total Wine & More to find yours. Find what you love what you find, at the lowest price, only at Total Wine & More. Drink responsibly, B21.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right.
Y'all gotta try that Febreze car.
Just right, just right, just right. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistency, all over Febreze car clips right on your vent. You know my car's my happy place. Keep a smile on my face when it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah, breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
Finding great people to hire can be like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Their powerful matching technology delivers so many qualified candidates, it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. For less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
For adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy, now there's Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months, and Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Nothing and me go hand in hand. Nothing on my skin, that's my new plan. Nothing is every day.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, you could achieve 90% clearer skin. Ask your doctor about the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis and visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
All guests appearing on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star appear on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Buyers Barricades provides traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com. Joe Reinagel, Jason Minix, The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is The Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix, live out at the Techport Arena. It's a fight night here on Cinco de Mayo. Viva La Brawl put on by Davies Entertainment. Doors open in about 45 minutes at 5:30. So get on out here. Come early because they got a full bar here and restaurants and all kinds of good stuff.
Yeah, and I don't think coming at 5:30 is going to be that early because nobody knows an exact time. And we've asked a few people, but I think right around 6:30, the first bouts are going to begin. So you don't have to wait that long. Give you plenty of time to, get liquored up a little bit and have some food.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So, I mean, you can do a lot of damage in an hour.
Yes.
a little too much damage, in fact.
He's on Twitter at Joe Reinagle210. You can tweet at me at Jason Lennox, or you can dial up or text the Kia Bossa Smoke Mates phone lines 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. If you're watching on YouTube Live, you can always comment there. Subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. We would certainly appreciate that.
Yes, we would.
Just kind of dovetailing a little bit on the conversation we just had with Frank Alosa on the horses that he liked. Tap It Thrice is his big one.
I thought it was
Angel of Empire.
Yeah.
And then Tap It.
I wonder how they came up with that name. Tap It
Thrice. Yes.
And then what?
Well, I mean, come on, Joe. You would like to twice, let alone thrice.
Hey, just once, okay?
Round 2? Round 3. You know,
well, it depends. A couple days in between.
How much recovery time? That's why these horses don't run 2 races in a day.
Yeah, tap it thrice to get me through the year.
Poor Maggie.
I know. I don't know how she does it.
Frank liked the 14. He said the 2 and the 5. He mentioned the 11, the 15, the 17. You know, he had a couple of different ways that you could box your horses in there. I texted him to see if he'll tell me exactly, but I think he wants to be fair to our beer bet later.
Now, he really, though, I do remember him saying Angel of Empire was the one that he really did like, just because the style of the Kentucky Derby kind of matches up with that horse. So, interesting. And it's 8-1. That's pretty good odds there.
And I mean, and Tap It Thrice is, the San Antonio guy, Todd Pletcher. That's his horse. He's got 3, Todd does, that are, as far as the odds go, some of the 4, but Angel of Empire trained by Brad Cox. And that really is a horse that Frank Alosa seemed to like. And some of the other ones, I mean, get your exacta boxes in, and hopefully you make a little bit of money. If you miss some of that interview, it will be up shortly at ESPNSA.com in the audio vault, powered by AA Best Bail Bonds.
Yeah, and then, of course, we are going to have our beer bet coming up at the end of the show because Jason and I have to do that. Can't take Forte, which is the favorite, but although Frank doesn't like Forte in this race, even though it is the favorite.
And it's interesting because when you start thinking about the favorites and how often the favorite, does actually win, the style, the length of the race, where they're starting. And that's what makes the Kentucky Derby so much fun, especially for guys like us that, you get into horse racing a couple, 3 times a year.
Yeah.
And, when you get the Kentucky Derby winner, and then you get ready, can we see a Triple Crown? And at that point, we're all experts, right?
Well, it is fun this time of year. And I think people, even if you're not, it's, this is kind of like the Super Bowl of horse racing, really, isn't it? I mean, the Kentucky Derby. So everybody kind of gets into it, and we all become horse racing fans. And what's funny about that, and it never fails. Wherever you go on Saturday afternoon of the Kentucky Derby, it's always on, and people are interested, and people are watching it.
Well, and again, your lady's going to wear a nice hat. She wants to have fun. They get to dress up. Mint julep.
Mint julep.
You're going to drink mint juleps.
No, I'm not drinking a mint
julep. Which are disgusting. I'm not a fan of the mint julep, but I'll drink one on Saturday.
No, I won't.
Yeah, you will.
No,
I've never seen you turn down alcohol. I've seen you do peppermint schnapps before because somebody handed it to you.
I was forced to.
I was forced. I forced you to drink the schnapps.
Take the mint out. Can you just have a julep?
Well, why would you?
Because I don't want the mint. It's like eating one of those things from a restaurant. It's a chocolate mint that they give you, and it's like,
those are wonderful.
No, they're horrible.
They're wonderful.
I'm just saying they're not good. So take the
Greg
mint.
Shelton is calling you weird, you need to take a long look in the mirror because that is one of the strangest dudes I know.
It's a day that ends in Y. He calls me weird every time we're on remote somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't matter. If I could just have a julep. Just leave the mint out.
What is a julep?
I have no idea. But if you take the mint out, it's not a mint julep anymore.
So
it's just a julep.
Just have a julep.
I just want a julep.
You can do
so
that.
So you think if I went to a bar and said, I just want a julep.
They'll pour some stuff in a glass. Not like you're going to know the difference.
I would not have a clue.
Okay. Can I get a julep without the mint? Can I
get mint?
So it's like when I order beef and broccoli at a Chinese restaurant without broccoli, and they look at me weird. I just want the beef. I don't want the vegetables.
Well, why do you bother ordering broccoli?
It's called beef and broccoli. I just get the beef and broccoli without broccoli or carrots. I don't like soggy broccoli.
Just put meat.
But I
on
like
a
the meat and the gravy. That's exactly what it is.
The rice?
Well, yeah.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Yeah, I'm weird for
fried rice, man. That's one of the major food groups.
So you do fried rice and not just the white rice.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can do either. Either one.
If I'm ordering, it comes with it. I'm getting the fried rice.
Okay, well, some days I'm in a white rice mood. Some days I'm in a fried rice.
With Chinese food, fried rice is the way to go.
Well, not necessarily.
Always.
No, it's not.
Always.
Okay. Well, you a Chinese food expert now?
Yeah, sure. I'll take that today.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, why not?
Oh man, I can't wait to beat you in this beer bet,
dude. You have no clue
because I think we're doing. I think we're tied, right?
We're tied 3-3 on the beer bets.
I believe we are. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. Do we have a bet on the Warriors Lakers series?
Well, no, because we both took the Warriors.
Oh, we did, didn't we? Okay.
I mean that the idea of having a bet is we have to start with the disagreement, because otherwise it's not really a bet. And we're not the kind of show that says, all right, you take the Lakers and I'm going to take the Warriors and we'll argue it out.
No, we don't do that.
We don't do that.
No.
When we disagree, it's naturally, although it's very easy to disagree with Joe Reinagel.
It's vice versa. I tell you what, some people just don't know. It's kind of, you're very Michael Jimenez-like. You think you know everything, but you don't.
But I do. Well, no, I'll tell you when I don't. Which might be the difference. You look at the NBA tonight, there's two games on tap in the playoffs, Boston and Philadelphia. That series tied 1-1 as the series shifts to Philadelphia. The 76ers, like the Lakers last night, get game one and then lay an egg in game two. With them going home, is that an advantage for Philadelphia other than playing at home and all the stuff on TV today about the process? It's going to be his first game in front of the home crowd with the MVP award. I imagine they'll make a percentage and a presentation with the trophy. A lot of hype before the game. So the old cliche, Boston has to weather that early storm. But I think once the Celtics settle down, they're going to be in control of this one.
Well, I tell you what, we agree. I think Boston's the best team in the Eastern Conference. So now, especially now that Milwaukee's out, I think Boston is the team to beat, and I think they're going to handle Philly. I don't think it'll go 7 games, what I'm saying. I think Boston wins this thing in 6 and takes care of business. So maybe Philly gets a win tonight. I don't think so. I think Boston will end up winning this thing. But we'll see, because a lot of times, and we've seen this before in San Antonio, you have one of those trophy presentations, and all of a sudden it's just like the team forgets how to play basketball.
Yeah.
And so I think that might happen to Philadelphia tonight.
I tell you, an advantage you could have had if we would have made a beer bet on the Denver-Phoenix series, because I was all over the Suns.
Oh, man.
That was my adopted team for the postseason. Phoenix is in trouble. Nuggets lead that series 2-0. Game 3 happening tonight in Phoenix, 9 o'clock start, TV on ESPN.
No Chris Paul.
But no Chris Paul. And because they traded their bench away to get Kevin Durant, I don't know how Phoenix gets back into this series after watching Denver dominate the first 2 games.
I wonder, and I hate to use the S word here, but sweep. I mean, I could see that happening to this Phoenix Suns bunch. Without Chris Paul, Kevin Durant's just been horrible in this series so far. He hasn't played well. He's going to have to carry the load, and I'm just not sure he's going to be able to do that. Devin Booker's another guy that he's played well, But they're going to have to come up with something tonight. This is a big game for them, obviously.
Well, and again, not that Joe would ever call it a must-win.
It's not.
But if they're going to make this a series, they better get this win tonight. And we can talk about Book, and you can talk about Durant. DeAndre Ayton, that dude needs to show up. That guy needs to show up because the Joker is having his way in this series. But I think the biggest problem for Monty Williams right now is there's no bench. And they knew when they made the trade for Kevin Durant what they were giving up. But with the injury to CP3, which feels like every postseason he's out.
Yeah,
they just, I mean, their starting five is there, but there's just no depth there. I love this Phoenix team. I thought when they made that trade, that was going to be my adopted team for the postseason, but they are in big, big trouble.
I just like the way Denver has stepped up when nobody was giving them a chance. They're the number one seed, but they were getting no respect at all. And they have stepped up and said, hey, we're not going to be an easy out, not at all. So I like the way Denver is handling their business, and they're going to be a tough out. And I don't think it's going to be Phoenix that does it. It's either going to be the Lakers or Golden State.
It's the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star, live out at the Techport Center. It is Fight Night in San Antonio. Davies Entertainment putting on Viva La Brawl. Doors open at 5:30 here at the Techport Center. So head this way and get ready for Fight Night here in San Antonio.
You know, it's a beautiful day in San Antonio here on this Friday, but you just know in San Antonio, and that means the weather can change. It can change on a dime. Could be storms, wind, rain, hail. You just never know, right? In fact, we had a big hailstorm. I think it was a week ago today that we did. And if you think you have roof damage, don't make the situation worse by putting your faith in one of those out-of-town storm chasers. Work with a local roofing company with years of experience. You want to work with a company whose people live in our area and deal with the same weather that we do. That is Stevens Roofing. In fact, they got a great saying: buy local, stay local, trust local with Stevens Roofing. They're pros at Stevens Roofing, and they repair and install all kinds of roofs. Anything you can think of, from metal composition. They do commercial projects as well. And if you've got an insurance claim, let Stevens Roofing handle that for you. They'll deal with your insurance company. You don't have to. One less thing you have to worry about. Give them a call, 210-785-0994. They'll send somebody out. They'll check for any damage, and they'll give you an honest assessment. Simple leaks to roof replacement, Stevens Roofing is your local roofer. You can get them online at stevensroofing.net. Don't forget, buy local, stay local, trust local with Stevens Roofing. Again, that phone number, 210-785-0994.
Mother's Day is right around the corner. And R&R in the Morning has you covered. We're looking for the top 3 craziest, scariest, funniest, or even the most humiliating car ride ever with your mom. Text R&R in the Morning anytime between 6 a.m. and 10 a.m. with your story till the kielbasa smoked meats line at 210-656-ESPN. You could win dinner for 2, SeaWorld tickets, and even win a pair of tickets to see the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Presented by 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star and Mother's Window Tint, the home of tint and alarms. Do it at Mother's and save.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles, with an auto warranty about to expire, or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost, month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-627-3604. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-627-3604. That's 800-627-3604. What do you have to lose? Call 800-627-3604. Again, 800-627-3604.
The XFL Championship game is here, and the league goes from 8 teams to 2. In a league of dreams and opportunities, there's only one chance to be a champion. The road to the 2023 XFL Championship ends in San Antonio. The best of the North versus the best of the South. The DC Defenders versus the Arlington Renegades. Who will emerge the winner? The 2023 XFL Championship game, Saturday, May 13th at 7 p.m. at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio. Tickets on sale now starting at $25. Visit xfl.com/tickets.
The Golf Club of Texas has some of the best course conditions with the friendliest staff. The golf is great. They have a lighted driving range and practice area. While it feels like a country club, it's not a private club. It's open to the public, so bring the family into the Tin Cup Bar. It's the nicest sit-down restaurant in that area of SA, specializing in Texas food, wine, and spirits. For golf or dinner, go to Golf Club of Texas off Highway 90, online at golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, the friendliest golf course in Texas.
We all have that friend who wakes up early to go get everyone McDonald's breakfast while the rest of us sleep in. This is your sign to thank them. And if you're that friend, this is us saying thank you.
Having McDonald's breakfast is delicious. Having someone else get you McDonald's breakfast is delicious-er. Right now, get a baked breakfast with hotcakes for just $4.99. Only at McDonald's. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Hey everyone, Michael Kielbasa here with Kielbasa Smoked Meats. Since 1949, we've made our sausage with real smoke and honest meat to create our uncompromising slow method to craft that famous mouth-watering kielbasa experience. I hope that when you see our product, you pick it up, take it home and try it. And if it's not the best you've ever tasted, I'll give you your money back, guaranteed. Find Kielbasa Smoked Meats in a store near you today.
Is the Blitz with Jason and Joe. KTFM, Floresville, and always at ESPNSA.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
NBA playoffs continue tonight. In fact, there are a couple of games on the schedule. The Boston Celtics, they're in Philadelphia tonight. That series all tied up in 1. The Denver Nuggets travel to Phoenix. The Nuggets have a 2-0 series lead. NBA announced today that Celtics guard Marcus Smart is the winner of this year's Hustle Award, but that's nothing new to him. He's the first player to win that award 2 years in a row. Who's the best quarterback in the NFL? We're talking about it.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minutes.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Happy Friday. Cinco de Mayo. Margaritas on tap on this Friday for sure. And you need to get down here to the Techport Center because it is fight night in San Antonio.
Yeah, you need to get down here. In fact, the doors are going to open in about 30 minutes. And 6 bouts on the agenda tonight. So come on out here. There are still tickets available. And say hello to us, get you a cold beer, something to eat, and watch some great boxing action.
Absolutely. And it's going to be a fun fight night. I just walked into the arena, and we were in there earlier while all the lights were on. We're setting up, but now it's dim, and the way it's looking, it's going to be a fun night. Davies Entertainment does a fantastic job in putting on events, and tonight will be no exception. One of the great debates that fans love to have, and a lot of times, when people ask, what's the show about? I say, if we're all sitting around the bar, say we're hanging out at the Rube Hub, those kind of arguments, those kind of discussions, that's how we like the radio show.
Right.
And you can be a part of that on the Kielbasa Smoke Meats phone lines at 210-656-ESPN. 656-3776. You can call or text. You can tweet at Joe Reinagel 210. Tweet at me at Jason Minix. Or if you're on the YouTube channel, which you should subscribe to San Antonio Sports Star on YouTube, you can comment there. And one great debate is always about quarterbacks. Now, Kyle Brandt from NFL Network, he's on that Good Morning Football show, who literally does a deal out of his basement. Feels like he was in his basement, and he came up with quarterback tiers. And I would like to thank him for the content because I'm not really sure where Kyle was going when he created the tier system. In the NFC, he's got Jalen Hurts all alone in tier 1. So there is one quarterback in tier 1, and that is Jalen Hurts, who, for a quick cup of coffee, was the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. In tier 2, he's got Dak Prescott, Kirk Cousins, and Matt Stafford. Tier 3, Derek Carr, Jared Goff, and Geno Smith.
So, it's interesting that you get there, and he's got Jalen Hurts as the only quarterback in tier 1.
Yep.
I find that interesting because, look, like him or not, and I know he had a hell of a season last year, but you do have a guy like Matthew Stafford who has won a Super Bowl. It's hard for me to put even Dak Prescott in that category, but I guess in the NFC, you kind of have to.
Well, I mean, when you look at the top quarterbacks in the NFC, I think you got Jalen, you got Dak, Matt Stafford. I think if you were to go with ranking the quarterbacks and where they are and that sort of stuff, in all fairness to Dak, and I know he gets his share of criticism, but he is in the NFC one of the top quarterbacks. If you are, and this is what I'm trying to figure out with Kyle Brandt, he wasn't clear on the segment on Good Morning Football. Was this based on last year, or is there career achievement on this? The idea that Matt Stafford, he wouldn't be a tier 2 quarterback based on last year, but he is the only NFC quarterback that has won a Super Bowl.
Well, I think he's talking about as it stands right now.
Okay.
Right? Heading into the season. It looks like, as I'm watching the video of him do it, he did it on Good Morning Football, I don't know, Tuesday or Wednesday. Looks like he's talking about now because he's got some of the younger quarterbacks up there that haven't played at all. So he's got them on a tier. And, of course, you remember when you're talking about NFC, AFC, Trevor Lawrence Sunshine was very upset because he put him in the 6th tier.
Well, and when you look at that, on YouTube, Clifton is saying there are no tier 1 quarterbacks in the NFC.
I agree with you, Clifton.
I think, but you have to have tiers and you go conference, but when you look at the elite quarterbacks, the top 5 quarterbacks, none of them are going to be NFC quarterbacks. I
agree.
Mean, because on the AFC side, he's got Patrick Mahomes as the only tier 1 quarterback. He's got Joe Burrow and Josh Allen as tier 2 quarterbacks.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers, Lamar Jackson, and Justin Herbert in tier 3.
See, I Aaron Rodgers and Lamar Jackson, I'm not sure Justin Herbert has earned a tier 3 in the AFC. Look, he's got great potential, but what has he done?
Well, I mean, and again, at tier 4, he's got Wilson and Watson.
Wow.
Right? Tier 5, Jimmy G by himself. Tier 6, Pickett, Mac, Tua, and Trevor. See, and I think that's why Trevor is pissed, because I think he and Tua, and Tua's got to be able to stay healthy, but they should be a lot higher. In fact, I would put Trevor and Tua ahead of Russell Wilson and Deshaun Watson, maybe in that tier 5 with Jimmy G. I mean, I know, and we've all seen what Deshaun Watson did while he was with the Houston Texans. Last year, weird year in Cleveland, and that takes that has to factor in. Now, Deshaun Watson could easily jump up to tier 2 if he has a hell of a year, which he is certainly capable of.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. It's unfair to judge Deshaun Watson from last year, no matter how you feel about Deshaun Watson and all the stuff he went through. Look, getting in there was no way he was going to play well. This year, you can judge him because he's got a full season. He's gone through the system. He'll have training camp, all the stuff that you need, the OTAs. So this year, if Deshaun Watson is going to shine and show that he is one of the elite quarterbacks in the AFC, then it's going to be this time around.
What do you guys think? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. You can dial up the Kielbasa Smoke Meats phone lines. You can dial, you can text. You look at what I find interesting is a guy like Trevor, and again, a lot of potential, but we started to see why he was the number 1 overall pick last year. He should be higher. on the, when you look at the NFC side, the sixth tier is Trey Lance, Desmond Ridder, and Sam Howell. And if you look on Twitter and look at the pictures that they were using on TV, I promise you were looking at that list going, who the hell is that?
Well, you look at that,
Sam Howell,
those guys
Desmond Ridder
that you just mentioned. How do you judge those guys? They've done nothing. I mean, Trey Lance is got the most experience of all of them. And what was that, 6 games before he got hurt? So
if that. I find interesting that a Baker Mayfield is a tier 5, according to Kyle Brandt. Now, Baker obviously has had a rough go with it. He's in Tampa Bay now, although he flew into Austin last night. But yeah, he was on a plane with a friend of mine's kid who plays football in South Florida.
Said it was very nice.
Yeah, he was talkative on the plane.
Yeah.
I mean, you sit down and you start talking, and then you realize you're talking to Baker Mayfield. And my first thought was, why is Baker on a Southwest flight? But I digress.
Why not?
But you look at the idea of where these quarterbacks are, and Jalen Hurts got paid off of one great season.
That's how it worked in the NFL.
And the potential that is there. When you look at Dak Prescott, and you say it all the time, he's Kirk Cousins. I think he's far better than Kirk Cousins, but the results in the postseason are right in line there. Like, I would much rather have a Dak Prescott than a Kirk Cousins or a Matt Stafford, but Matt finally did win a Super Bowl ring, and he was stuck in Detroit for all those years. But Kirk Cousins is that one guy that, kind of like Dak, man, has made a lot of money. He puts up big numbers, but can you get it done in the playoffs?
I was almost going to shock the world and agree with you completely until you said you'd rather have Dak Prescott than Matt Stafford. I mean, Jason.
Well,
please.
I would now because Dak is younger.
That's your Cowboy stars coming out again, and your love for
Matt
Dak
Stafford's
Prescott.
a Dallas guy.
I would take Matt Stafford right now over Prescott and Kirk Cousins in a heartbeat. I wouldn't even have to think about it. I mean, the guy has got the experience. And if you're talking about younger, okay, I get that. But if I had a team right now and I needed a quarterback, I'm taking Matt Stafford out of those 3 guys that you're talking about.
And again, that is something that, Sean McVay did in Los Angeles. He got him out of Detroit. He got there, but he's older. And granted, it's hard to judge last year's Rams team because Stafford obviously got hurt. He wasn't healthy, but they lost their left tackle. They lost so many weapons off that Super Bowl team. They paid the price for going all in and winning a Super Bowl, and it's worth it.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish the Cowboys would do it. I mean, get a Super Bowl, even if it's going to mean you're going to suck for 2 or 3 years.
I totally
you
agree.
Still got that Super Bowl. You got it done.
I totally agree with that. And I think in the NFL right now, that's what you have to do. I mean, you see teams doing it. The last 2 Super Bowl champs have done just that. Tampa Bay or Los Angeles and Tampa Bay and not Kansas City. They've built their stuff. So the last 2 before this year have done just that. Now I'm confused. But what I'm saying is,
what are you saying? Because nobody knows what the hell you're saying.
What I'm saying is, unless you've got Pat Mahomes, you got to go out and win now. Patrick Mahomes can make an average team good, and he did it this year. Well, that team was average at best.
At best. And again, you think about some of the weapons that could be there, and then you come back to if you're the Cowboys and you're going all in. You're going all in with the Dallas Cowboys this year, and you look at this roster right now, and there's not a lot of holes in the Dallas Cowboys roster. There really isn't. But there's not a lot of proven depth at the running back position. And I find it interesting that Emmitt Smith, of all people, and when Emmitt speaks, you listen. He's been there. He's got the skins on the wall. Emmitt Smith thinks the Dallas Cowboys need to bring back Ezekiel Elliott. Maybe we'll hear from Emmitt. Apparently, we won't hear from Emmitt.
Dallas need to bring Zeke back if they can. With the uncertainty of Pollard being able to come back and being the Tony Pollard that we all know, that is yet to be seen. Until that has proven itself out and he's healthy enough to get out there and carry the football and be some form of who he used to be. That is my biggest concern. No disrespect to Malik Davis, no disrespect to Deuce Vaughn, but Deuce Vaughn and Malik Davis and no Tony Pollard presents a major challenge for the Dallas Cowboys offense.
Look, I love, obviously he knows what he's talking about, but I don't think there's an issue with Tony Pollard coming back healthy.
No.
He broke his leg. He didn't blow out a knee. He broke his leg. He's going to be just fine and be right back in.
He also didn't mention Ronald Jones in there, and I've said many times, I don't think Ronald Jones makes the opening day roster for the Dallas Cowboys, but I do think there is some concern there from insurance standpoint, and what the Cowboys don't have is that short yardage specialist that Zeke could offer. And if Emmett's thinking the Cowboys need a veteran running back or somebody that's a little bit more proven than a Malik Davis and a 5'5" Deuce Vaughn for those short yardage situations, Zeke is your best option. For the record, I think the Cowboys have that divorce. They need to stay divorced, no reconciliation, and let Zeke go find another home. But when Emmett brings that up, I think you do have to listen to it, because I do think what Emmett said has to be one of the conversations that the Cowboys brass are having inside the Star.
I just think because the Cowboys waited as long as they did to go out and get a running back, and the running back that they got is not a banger in any form or fashion, right? So I think that they are finally wanting to give Malik Davis an opportunity, and I think that just speaks volumes. So I don't think Zeke is going to come back. I really don't. I don't think Steven or Jerry, no matter what they say, have that in their plans. I think this is the time for Malik Davis to show either he's got it or he doesn't. And I think the Cowboys are going to give him that opportunity this year.
Let's go to the Kia Bossa Smoke Meats phone lines, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Josh, you're on the Blitz. What's going on, man?
Yeah, I think Kyle Brandt has it right. Jalen Hurts is kind of in a tier of his own as far as quarterbacks. You don't hear them talking about, oh, we need to get more pieces on the offense. We need to get a receiver. We need to get a running.
Did for him last year. They got him a ton of weapons last year.
They
That's exactly
got him
what
a
they
ton.
went and did.
They got him a ton of weapons, but right now we're still talking about Dak needs a running game. Dak still needs an offensive line. Dak needs more receivers. And at this point, if Dak was going to be that guy, he would have gotten him to an AFC championship or an NFC championship.
It's possible to get him there to the AFC. Josh, I appreciate where you're coming from. I just think you're dead wrong here. I mean, think about we can talk about Dak needs more weapons around him. The draft that the Cowboys just had says that the Cowboys brass thinks there's enough weapons around him. The way they helped Dak Prescott was trying to make that defense better. Yeah, they got him another tight end. Outside of that, it was a defensive draft to help the team. They didn't get him more weapons.
Well, and look, and talking about Jalen Hurts, let's pump the brakes a little bit. Guy had a great year. No question about it. But see, we're such a microwave society that it's what you did here. You remember that Jalen Hurts couldn't make it in Alabama, went to Oklahoma, right? And he struggled in his first couple of years when he got to the NFL. He had a great year. Can he do it again and do it again? That's what makes a great quarterback. Don't crown this guy as an elite quarterback until he has a couple of years.
He had an elite season.
An elite season, but does that make him an elite quarterback?
I don't know that he didn't make it in Alabama either. Although he did,
Tua beat him out.
You know, there was that championship game moment. It's Alabama. It's Nick Saban. I think he's got the opportunity.
So, wait. You got a tear in your eye. Am I being a little too hard on Jalen Hurts here?
No, and that's not a tear in my eye.
That is a tear in your eye.
No, it's
Sheldon, will you get minutes of Kleenex, please?
It just hurts that I'm defending an Eagle.
You are, big time.
Although on Twitter it was, isn't Kyle Brandt an Eagle fan? Yes, he is. We'll talk more about the Cowboys' needs in a few minutes at 5:30. John Machota from The Athletic will join us. But coming up next, we'll talk about the Anthony Davis no-show game last night that cost the Lakers. It's Friday. You know you're going to fire up the grill this weekend. I know I've got a couple of racks of ribs. I was over at Tri-County Meat Market earlier today because of Joe. I got one rack of baby backs, one rack of St. Louis-style ribs that'll go on the Traeger tomorrow. You want to do ribs tomorrow, whether you're thinking about, those great pork ribs, you want to do some beef ribs, you want to do some English crosscuts, maybe a tri-tip, a picanha, a brisket. They got everything you need at Tri-County Meat Market. Steaks, beef, chicken, pork. You want to do their seasoned fajitas. They are fantastic. And you can always take advantage of their Pick 5 for $25. And Tri-County Meat Market always offers a 10% discount for military and first responders. 2 great locations on Ralph Fair Road and on Huebner, or online at tricountymeat.com.
Diamonds Direct invites you to join us as we celebrate all the moms in our lives. This Mother's Day, we're giving Mom more to say thank you for all she does. With every fashion jewelry purchase of $2,500 or more, we'll give Mom a free customizable diamond initial pendant valued at nearly $800. We've put together an exceptional collection of meaningful gifts for any budget. The perfect heirloom pieces to pass down to the next generation of moms. Birthstone rings, stackable rings, eternity bands, pearls, elegant diamond pendants, and of course, stunning diamond earrings. This year, she deserves a gift that keeps giving, and at Diamonds Direct, that's our specialty. Timeless gifts of jewelry she can enjoy and cherish for decades to come. Now's a great time to upgrade her diamond studs or pendant with Diamonds Direct's unmatched 110% upgrade. Come let the experts at Diamonds Direct help you find that remarkable gift that says, "Cheers, Mom, for all you do and for who you are." Diamonds Direct. Get locations and store hours at diamondsdirect.com.
Macy's one-day sale is going on now with deals of the day on gifts Mom will love, like fine jewelry selections to make her day sparkle, 35 to 70% off. Shoes, handbags, and more spring accessories, 30 to 50% off. And summer-ready dresses for any occasion, $49.99 to $99.99. Plus, get contact-free curbside pickup or pickup in store at Macy's. Savings off sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
Staples has everything to help small businesses do big things. Shipping supplies and services so you can fill big orders. The latest tech so you can create the next big thing. And now during Staples Small Business Deal Days, when rewards members spend $100 or more, they get $30 back in rewards to use on big things, little things, or anything they need. Plus, find new deals in store every week on tech, office chairs, and shipping supplies. Because for small businesses, Staples knows savings are a big thing. Rewards offer ends 5/13. Limit 1. Redeemable in-store only.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Or in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com. Looking for a protein-packed snack to power you through the day? Of course you are. Only Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds have the bold flavors you crave. Spicy dill, Korean kimchi, pasilla chili cheese, and more. Take your snacking to a whole new level with Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. And keto fans, you're going to love this low-carb crunch. Get yours at H-E-B and online at southernrecipesmallbatch.com.
Southern Recipe pork rinds.
Hello. I am Jason Thompson, a lawyer for us. Since 1994, I have helped people injured in car, truck, and motorcycle collisions right here in San Antonio. I don't have a clever nickname. I'm not the law lion, the law gun, the hammer, or some other tool. I'm a practicing attorney. When your life is upended literally by a negligent driver, it can be overwhelming. Dealing with insurance companies is, in my opinion, intentionally complicated and frustrating. Why? The fewer dollars the insurance companies pay, the more they get to keep for themselves. You need an experienced attorney to help you make the best decisions for yourself and your family. And that's what I do. That is who I am. Jason Thompson, a lawyer for us. I'm a phone call away, 210-900-0400. The call and the consultation are free with no obligations. My number again is 210-900-0400, or just remember, alawyer4us.com.
When you're drinking a frozen beverage from McDonald's, your brain may not like how refreshingly cold it is, but the rest of your body, oh yes, it's gonna relish every moment of it, because there are drinks. Then there are drinks from McDonald's.
There's no better way to cool down than with this cool deal.
Get a medium frozen Coke, frozen Dr. Pepper, or frozen Fanta for just $1.79. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Monday on R&R in the morning, the playoffs continue. We'll get you caught up. We're giving away Victory cigars at 7:30 and smoking those ugly Swisher Sweets as well. Now back to the Techport Center with Jason and Joe. It's going to be a good fight night, fellas. Enjoy yourself.
Absolutely. He's Joe Ryan Eagle. I'm Jason. My next, the Blitz live out at the Techport for Fight Night. Viva La Brawl happening here tonight. Big fight night put on by Davies Entertainment. But you hear a little Aerosmith. That's a big event coming to San Antonio, to the AT&T Center, November 1st. Another one of their farewell tours, although this one really might be it. Black Crowes on the bill as well. You want to go see Aerosmith and the Black Crowes at the AT&T Center? Just be caller number, a lot of Zeke talk today, 21 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Caller 21, just to make Pledge happy on a Friday.
Oh, man, that's why I'm laughing. I got a look on Pledge's face when you said 21. Pledge, it's Friday, baby. You can do it. You can do it.
You know, he wants to disparage my quarterback. I'm going to take caller 21 instead of 3. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Our first celebrity sighting
the
here
ring announcer
at the
is here.
Techport Center.
Hey, dude, you're not going to climb on the ropes, are you?
Rudy, grab a microphone. We got a few minutes before John Machota comes up. Wesley, I see you on the line, man. We'll get to your call soon. Just be patient. It's Friday. You're stuck in traffic anyway.
We went into the ring, okay? And Minix actually tried it, and he almost killed himself.
I already did it like 3-4 times to make sure.
So you're good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm not I'm not the ring announcer, thank God, so I don't have to come over.
Oh, okay.
I'm just a host. Like, I guess what I've been told is like, after the fights, hey, how's it feel?
You get to interview them.
Yeah.
Right. How weird is it going to be for you to interview somebody and they say like the F word and you don't freak out because you're not live on the radio?
Well, so the thing is, I asked Cam yesterday, Cam Davies, I said, so is this a PG event? He said, absolutely not.
No,
it's a boxing event.
You know what's weird is when you cuss on a microphone.
Yeah, that's
because that's weird.
So,
you're going to be in the ring though, right?
I am going to be in and out of the ring sometimes here and there.
Yeah.
And I was told to plug the hell out of our station, so I'm going to do that.
You should do that. Now, because we were talking, you were saying to try to get up on the middle rope, but when we were in the ring earlier shooting a video, I realized there's 4. So I got up on the second rope, and that was all right.
Was it shaky?
It was a little shaky, but it was all right. Then I tried to go up to the third rope, and I realized that's a bad idea. So
I don't think I'm going to do that.
Just to help you out, man, you can go second rope. It's a little shaky, but you'll be all right.
All right, cool.
Just lean into that corner padding there.
Okay.
But you try to go up that third rope, man, you're going to fall backwards. That would be bad.
I think I'm going to go second rope if someone gets knocked out.
Well, Rudy J of a year ago wouldn't be able to go on any ropes. Okay,
I wouldn't have been able to get in.
That's what I'm saying. So you got a shot. I'll give you a shot. Minix got no shot. No coordination.
What did it look like when he tried to get in?
Oh, dude, it was ugly.
It was
ugly.
No, there's no. But getting into the ring and out of the ring, that's easy. Although I will say this, I know you. I know you've done a lot of work to lose some weight, get all these new pants, big old thing, fashion. Please tell me.
What do you mean, big old thing? What are you talking about?
It's a big old event.
Oh,
right.
I thought you were complimenting Rudy right here on the radio.
No, I mean, what I'm saying, it's a big event.
Yeah, huge.
Right. You got tailored clothes. Right.
I don't want to split my pants.
You're going to split your pants.
Are a little tight.
Be worried. I'm worried about you. We were talking about that earlier.
Me too. I'm worried about it. No, I'm not worried.
Dude, I saw you bring in a bag full of clothes. What's the wardrobe?
You know what? I'm going to change here soon. It's just a suit, man.
It's a suit.
It's a suit.
No tux.
Oh yeah. So it's a tux.
It's a tux.
You got a bow tie.
I told you.
I got a bow tie. It's a tux. You supposed to, right?
Of course you are. I'm proud of you, Rudy.
You're supposed to tux. You got to do tux, right?
I'm proud of you. Yeah.
I mean, I just saw Joe was professional. He just did the thing.
I did his fight night. Yeah.
And you did.
You want to tell him about your pants issue that night?
I heard. So what? You didn't have time to tailor them? They were too big, or you had lost too much weight? What was the deal?
Well, no. So I don't own a tux anymore. I used to, right? So I had to go rent one. Well, and when you rent one, they got the things on there. You make them tighter or looser.
Right.
Well, I didn't make them as tight as I should have, so I'm walking around like
you
pulling my pants up the whole time. Yeah, it's like, some people close to the ringside want to say, "Hey, Ryan Eagle," they just couldn't hold it.
So I saw Ryan Eagle tux. I was like, "Oh, so you got to go tux.
You got to go tux, man."
So you go tux. You're gonna clip on bow tie, or you're gonna try to tie?
I don't know how to tie a bow tie.
Oh, it's clip on, man.
Joe will help you. He'll help you.
I don't know how to do a bow tie.
I don't know how to do a bow tie. Dak, he tied a bow better than he can throw a pass.
Oh, shut up! Shut up!
He's more
my
accurate with his bow tie than he is his deep ball.
You enjoy 10 years at Justin Fields and come talk to me.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm. Wesley wants to talk about Dak. Wesley, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Yeah, first and foremost, I have to say that I think that Matthew Stafford is a much better quarterback. If you're just being honest, if you would put Dak in Detroit and put Stafford in Dallas for the whole time, I think we have a different conversation. Plus, if you win a Super Bowl, you earn a little bit extra. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is.
I agree with that completely.
Fair enough. Wes, appreciate the call, man. There's
Thanks,
some
Wes.
background
He
noise.
said Matthew Stafford's better than Dak?
Yeah,
because he's got a ring.
You don't agree? Dude, if you had Dak Prescott and Matthew Stafford and your team Super Bowl caliber, who would you take? You're taking Dak?
Is Megatron involved?
No, I'm just saying if
right now the way it is, I'm taking Dak.
Oh my gosh, dude!
And
you're drinking the Kool-Aid.
No,
well, you take Dak and his 35 interceptions and see where that gets you.
Shut up! You just hate when people tell you the truth.
Dude, I'm just
sometimes truth hurts.
Well,
right?
I had a little more respect for Rudy J, and I just lost a little.
Damn,
dude, he's got Justin Fields. You got Ryan Tannehill. You want to crap on my quarterback?
I got Will Levis, man.
My quarterback was at least drafted in the first round.
and again, how many games in a row has he lost?
A lot.
81.
He was told to.
Oh, he was told to.
He was told to. They pulled the Spurs.
Stop.
They pulled the Spurs.
John Machota from The Athletic will join us coming up next year on the Blitz. If you're thinking about how to secure the value of your assets, grow your wealth, you need to think gold. Think Noble Gold. Go to the website, noblegoldinvestments.com. Think about all the economic news right now, bank failures. Gold is a safe investment to secure your wealth. If you're not sure what to do or how to buy gold, not a problem. Go to noblegoldinvestments.com. They'll walk you through everything. They'll email you their gold and silver investors guide. Don't wish you did this down the road when you look at the long-term trend of gold. Take the time today to go to the website, noblegoldinvestments.com. Promo code STAR for a free 5-ounce America the Beautiful coin that they're offering people that qualify. NobleGoldInvestments.com. Mark it down to do today or over the weekend. NobleGoldInvestments.com.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
We got baseball tonight. In fact, the Texas Rangers are back in action after taking yesterday off. They're out west taking on the LA Angels. It's a game you can hear right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star beginning at 8 o'clock. Astros also out west in Seattle. First pitch for that ball game at 9:10. And Tom Brady says it's all fake news when it comes to that report. Says he might walk away from that $375 million. The Blitz continues.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. The IRS just rolled out a new program to help struggling taxpayers more easily resolve their tax problems. It's called the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, and it opens up powerful new options for people looking to get back on the right track with the IRS. And no one knows this program like the professionals at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution company. They've resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients and have the expertise and experience to help you. One easy call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries of wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Make today the beginning of your fresh start with the IRS. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief now for your free confidential consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
I'd rather ride a bike with my kids than ride in an ambulance.
I'd rather have a catch with my dog Curtis than catch pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with certain chronic conditions like heart disease, asthma, or diabetes, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20 pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Learn more at Prevnar20.com. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I know a lot of you really want the State Farm personal price plan, but what's with the oversharing? Like this message Mateo left.
Jake from State Farm, you should know orange juice commercials make me cry. I feel bad for the oranges.
You don't need to get that personal. The State Farm personal price plan helps you create an affordable price just for you. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or go to statefarm.com for a quote today.
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
Kelley Blue Book is the one-stop shop for pricing, fixing, selling, and instant cash offering. Instant cash offer is exactly what it sounds like. An official offer to buy or trade your car. Just enter your VIN or license plate, answer a few questions about your car's history, and what kind of condition it's in. In minutes, you'll receive an offer to sell or trade your car that you can be sure is fair. Then choose a dealer to purchase your car and schedule a time to meet. For all of the it's, KBB.com.
O'Reilly. Make your tires shine with superior coverall tire shine at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Our professional parts people can help you choose the right cleaning supplies for your vehicle. Finish any great detail job with superior coverall tire shine. Right now, get 2 bottles for just $18. See store for details. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts or O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
A lot of new enrollments, huh? Braylon, Braden.
Monique's daycare is crawling with new arrivals.
Hey, sweetie, are you hungry?
She needs more early childhood educators.
Did your sock slip off again?
And a nap.
Hey there, little guy. Okay. Shh. Whoa.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Ribs, burgers, chicken. Submit what you grilled or smoked, and you could win a $50 gift card from Tri-County Meat Market.
So good and tasty.
Grilling with the Blitz. Joe Reinagel, Jason Minix, The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is The Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Live at the Techport Center Fight Night in San Antonio. Davies Entertainment putting on Viva La Brawl. Gates officially opened a couple minutes ago. People coming in. First fights get going in about an hour or so. But as we do about this time every Friday, we talk to the great John Machota from The Athletic, who covers the Cowboys. John Machota joining us here on the Buyers Barricades guest line. John, how's your Friday?
It's going okay. The air conditioning in my place isn't working, so that's less than ideal on this 95-degree day. So they're supposed to be coming in.
Isn't it a record high today in Dallas for May 5th?
It is, and you really don't recognize that until your air conditioning isn't working. So they're supposed to be coming pretty soon. So hopefully that happens.
Well, good, because I hope with that we get a bit of a grumpy John Machota who's sitting in a place with no AC, because we need you to settle a bet. And you are unique, not a bet, but a uniquely qualified person for this particular question. Because while you cover the Dallas Cowboys and have for a long time, you grew up in Detroit or in the Michigan area. Joe Reinagel said earlier today, about an hour ago, that he would rather have right now Matt Stafford than Dak Prescott.
Yeah, I don't know that I would go that far, just because I do think when both are healthy and playing at their best, I think Matthew Stafford has played at a higher level. but at where he's at in his career, like I could still see Dak playing the best ball of his career over the next 2 years, where I don't think Matthew Stafford's best ball is there anymore. So I don't think it's far away. I mean, I think they're in the same area code in both situations. I don't think you look at either of them as being like Patrick Mahomes, like they're just leading the team on, they're going to need a lot of like other pieces around them, obviously, like that Rams team had. But I could, to put it this way, I guess it really doesn't matter. What do I think? I think if you polled NFL GMs, I think they'd be pretty split on that.
John, well, talking about that, and it's interesting that you bring up the talent that Stafford had around him, especially when the Rams won the Super Bowl. Don't you think at this point in time that the Cowboys, they seem loaded? I mean, if they're looking to get talent around Dak, it seems to me that this year is pretty much it. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing, I don't know that these wide receivers, I wouldn't compare it and say that it's going to be on the same level as when they had, CeeDee Lamb with Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup completely healthy. It might, you never know, but I don't know that Brandon Cooks is going to be on that level that Amari was a few years back. So maybe the receivers aren't exactly on that level, and maybe the offensive line isn't quite as good, but the defense is so much better than it was then. And so Dak shouldn't have to do as much for them to win games because his defense has gotten to a level that really hasn't been like that at any other time in the last decade here in Dallas. And so, he doesn't have to do the 400, 450 yards, 4 touchdowns for them to win games anymore. It's just take care of the football, make the plays that are there for you, and don't lose the game, because this defense has a chance to win a lot of games for them.
John Machota from The Athletic joining us here on the Blitz. And, it's interesting because going into the draft, we talked about another weapon or two for Dak. Would they take a wide receiver high? Would they take a running back high? We knew they were going to take a tight end, but we had Will McClay on earlier this week, and I know he made his rounds with the media. And I think one of the things that he talked about, at least with us, is the way they helped Dak Prescott in this draft was making an already good defense that much better. And I think a lot of football fans might forget, if you're getting more 3-and-outs or creating more turnovers, getting more possessions, that's going to make things easier for the Cowboys offense, where a couple years ago it was Dak scores 30 points a game, so we have a chance to win.
Oh, I completely agree. I mean, it surprised me to even the fact of go back to the Mozzie Smith pick that they would take a defensive tackle in the first round, just because we haven't seen it in so long. But having Dan Quinn here and then having the pieces that they've put together, Micah Parsons far exceeding expectations, Trayvon Diggs exceeding expectations, everything that Jaron Kearse has done since he's been here has exceeded expectations. And so now start adding these other pieces around to where, adding in a Stephon Gilmore, and now with Mozzie Smith and Jonathan Hankins there at the defensive tackle spots, I mean, there really isn't a weakness on this defense, and I can't even remember the last time that you could say that. And so it was one of the league's best defenses last year, and I do think that they played good enough for them to beat San Francisco in the divisional round. But now I believe this group takes it to another level with some of those additions, and then also the fact that, like, the guys that have been here, the Leighton Vander Esch's of the world, the Donovan Wilsons and players like that, I mean, they're used to what Dan Quinn wants because it's several years in the same system. Keeping him around is going to be huge for that group. So, I mean, it has the makings. Obviously, health has to fall into place, and you need some good fortune there, but it has the makings of being potentially the best defense in the NFL.
Yeah, no question. I'm certainly looking forward to seeing what they can do. And there's been a lot of talk, John, about extensions, new contracts, Trayvon Diggs, CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott. Who gets extended first? I guess from a contract situation, I guess Trayvon is probably the most urgent. Is that true?
Yeah, I would say Trayvon is. Now, they could always end up franchise tagging him after this season to keep him around for a 5th year because of being a second-round pick. He doesn't have that 5th-year option. He's the most urgent. It's hard to predict which player will be willing to come forward first and maybe take a little bit more of a team-friendly deal, because I don't really think any of them are going to take much of one. But if one of them comes forward and is willing to take a little bit less, so maybe that's Trayvon Diggs, maybe that's Dak Prescott, maybe it's CeeDee Lamb. I don't see any way it would be Micah Parsons, because I think he will become the highest paid defensive player when he gets his contract done. So I guess if I had to pick one as a Vegas favorite, I'd say Diggs, and then next would possibly be Dak, just because of the fact of it's almost like the NFL draft where it's not even that interesting anymore what the contracts are going to be because it's become slotted. Well, it's like that with the quarterbacks too. I mean, if you want Dak to sign an extension, you kind of know what the parameters are. If you question if you think he can be the franchise quarterback for the next 4 or 5 years, 6 years, then maybe that's where it gets a little tricky there. But as long as they haven't changed on their beliefs in him, it's pretty much slotted. Hey, get him done as soon as you can because the market only gets higher and higher. So because of that, I guess I would put him second. But I think any one of those four, I mean, they're all important, and they have a chance to re-sign all four. And it's going to obviously take up a huge chunk of their cap. And because of that, they're going to have to keep drafting well for several years to come to fill in some of these holes that they're not going to be able to re-sign certain players. But it's tough to say any one of those four is, anywhere above the other because they're all about to get paid, whether it's by the Cowboys or another team, among the highest paid at their respective positions.
John Machota from The Athletic joining us here on the Blitz on 94.1. San Antonio sports star, one of those guys, Micah Parsons, does he get paid as a linebacker or an edge rusher? He set Twitter ablaze earlier this week by saying he's going to add weight and become a full-time edge rusher, which it isn't really a position change. Hadn't he played a lot on the line, especially last year, more there than at linebacker?
Yeah, he has, and the number keeps going down, and it'll go down again, but I think that Dan Quinn mainly wants to keep it to where it's not just lining up there because there are certain game plans where he would like him to play a little bit of linebacker and move him around a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, the more he's in the league, the longer it's going to become where he just becomes their, right defensive end, basically. I mean, that's going to be the major position he's playing. And frankly, it doesn't like in terms of the slotting for contracts and things like that. I just think with how dynamic he is, it doesn't even matter if he's a linebacker or a defensive end. He's such a weapon that it isn't going to be about sitting down his agent with the Cowboys and saying, well, these are the highest paid linebackers, or these are the highest paid defensive ends. No, it's going to be about being the highest paid defensive player. That's the kind of money he's going to get, whether it's from Cowboys or another team. And I don't see how, if he puts up another huge year like he has these first 2 years or these previous 2 years, I don't see any way that they wouldn't be willing to pay him top dollar. I mean, Dan Quinn gets a ton of credit, but Micah Parsons is the face of the turnaround on this defense. I mean, he has been the reason that they've been able to take everything to the next level because, let's be honest, every Sunday or whatever day the Cowboys are playing, he's the number one person on the entire team that other team is game planning to try and slow down, stop, whatever.
Yeah, no question about it. He's an exciting player, and I think if he ended up in a different uniform, it'd be a riot at Jerry Jones' house for sure. I want to ask you kind of a bizarre question, and I'm not sure if anybody knows the answer to this, John, but if anybody does, you will. Cowboys didn't draft a quarterback. Does that mean that they don't think anybody is better than Will Grier as what they have for that guy?
Absolutely. I don't think that even if they took a guy in the 6th or 7th round that they would have necessarily thought that they were better than Will Grier. They like Will Grier a lot. It was just the fact of, when McCarthy was in Green Bay, they were a team that would draft a quarterback quite often in the later rounds, and Jerry had talked about needing to do that because of, sometimes you get lucky. I mean, they got Dak in the 4th, and now he ends up being their franchise quarterback and things like that. But I think that a player was going to have to fall. I don't think that they were going to go out there and try and get, let's say, an Aiden O'Connell or something like that above anybody else. Like, it was going to have to be a good situation where they're like, well, he's our best player on our board. We'll take this guy. And then obviously that would probably be moving on from Will Grier. But no, they like Will Grier a lot, and they like Cooper Rush, and obviously they like Dak Prescott. And so it was going to be tough to get that other quarterback in there, but they're the ones that said that they were interested in bringing in a developmental guy. After the draft, they were asked about it, said that the way that the draft fell, that just the guys that they liked, none of them really fell to where they were comfortable taking that player over someone else. And so, you know what, it didn't happen. So for me, I get where teams come from because sometimes you can get a Brock Purdy, I guess. But if you feel good about Will Grier to the point where he almost beat out Cooper Rush for the backup job last year, and he's still relatively young by the position standards, I think it's pretty clear that they felt much better about him than any of the prospects at the back end of the draft.
John Machota, before we let you get back to your unair-conditioned apartment, Emmitt Smith said today that he thinks that the Cowboys need to bring back Zeke. Now, I disagree with that, but you've got Deuce Vaughn. If running back was a priority, they would have waited before the 6th round to take a 5'5" Deuce Vaughn. Is their lack of drafting a running back a signal that they're comfortable with Malik Davis and a Deuce Vaughn, or do you think there's some credibility to what Emmett is saying is you need to have that veteran short yardage specialist, and you might as well bring Zeke back. He's the best available.
I don't disagree with that at all in terms of needing a player like that. I kind of find it hard to believe that the Cowboys would do that because it just seems like that ship has sailed. As much as Jerry wants to keep that door cracked, it just seems like it would be awkward to try and go in that direction. It's not a completely, I mean, I would put it at 99% chance. I don't see it happening, but I guess there's still that 1% chance that they get to training camp and Zeke hasn't signed with anyone. And they're like, hey, we need this position. He knows the room. Why don't we try and make this work? I mean, I can't completely 100% rule it out. I just think it's highly unlikely because I think in that situation, there's going to be other backs that are going to be available too that are veteran type guys. But yeah, I guess the thing I'm getting at is when I look at their depth chart today, I don't believe that running back is completely set. Like I think between now and week 1, they're going to add a running back at some point because I don't know who the running back is on this roster. And I don't know if they do either, that when it's 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1 in a huge game and a team selling out to stop the run, like I don't know which back they're giving the ball to because as good as Tony Pollard has been, that hasn't been his strength. That's someone they've gone to Zeke. And so you need someone to kind of fill that spot. And so, left guard's obviously still a huge question mark, and kicker obviously is the biggest question mark, but running back is right in that next group of, I don't think it's settled yet at that position with what they've done in the draft.
Make sure you follow John Machota on Twitter. Tweet him some ice gifts because he needs it right now with his AC out. Do something on Twitter at John Machota. Subscribe and read his great work there at The Athletic. John, get that AC working, man. Get that apartment maintenance guy up there and get it fixed or get somewhere where there's AC and cold beer.
It's 80 in here right now. It's climbing, so hopefully there's supposed to be some storms. Hopefully they're coming to cool things down here. So, yeah.
Sounds like a great night to use those hotel points, man.
For sure, guys. Good talking.
John Machota from The Athletic as he joins us on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Buyers Barricades provides traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. They're online at buyersbarricades.com. The Big 12 is looking at doing something a little different with their broadcast this year. We'll talk about that as we continue here on the Blitz on this Friday. Everybody has their weekend plans at Cinco de Mayo. None of you plan on getting arrested, but some of you will. Happens to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. Whether it's you, a family member, a friend of yours, you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast. Best way to do that is by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else for that, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you really understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds because nobody beats their price. They have payment plans available, a free shuttle service. They're discreet and confidential and open 24/7. Offices all over San Antonio and Texas. Services nationwide. So if you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
If you missed Jimenez and Spence, then you missed this.
This is what the Cowboys have done. This is how you know that they're going to have a good team this year. May not win 12 games, but they're going to have a good team. They're a better team, tougher schedule this year.
Get in your head, dude.
First of all, I hope that you know that I have opinions of my own, Spence.
Sometimes I wonder. That was the centerpiece of your position. The fact that they won't win 10 games because of the strength of schedule.
Don't make me throw this tape dispenser at you, man, because I can come up with my own takes, dude. I am an award-winning sports talk show host.
It's Jimenez and Spence, noon to 3 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Kelley Blue Book is the one-stop shop for pricing, fixing, selling, and instant cash offering. Instant cash offer is exactly what it sounds like. An official offer to buy or trade your car. Woo-hoo! Just enter your VIN or license plate, answer a few questions about your car's history, and what kind of condition it's in. In minutes, you'll receive an offer to sell or trade your car that you can be sure is fair. Then choose a dealer to purchase your car and schedule a time to meet. For all of the its, KBB.com.
Get in the zone.
AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone, America's #1 brakes destination. We have the pads, rotors, drums, shoes, and brake fluids to improve your stopping power. Right now, save 15% when you get any 2 Duralast rotors with a set of Duralast brake pads. Missing a tool? Ask about our free Loan-A-Tool program and borrow the tools you need to get the job done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Claim based on data from the MPD Group 2021. Deposit required for Loan-A-Tool.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry's starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter code FOOTBALL at checkout. That's harrys.com, code FOOTBALL. Enjoy.
Garage clutter got you down? Garageization will help improve that mood. Cabinets, shelving, workbenches, overhead racks, slat wall. They even do floors. Oh my! GarageOrganizationSanAntonio.com for more info. GarageOrganizationSanAntonio.com. Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar is San Antonio's home for all things sports, drinks, and games. Slacker's Medical Center now brings you Throwback Night. Every Friday night, visit Slacker's Medical Center for old school jams and giveaways starting at 9 p.m. Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar, 5 area locations: North Star, Nacogdoches, Medical Center, St. Mary Strip, and now Thousand Oaks. 7 days a week happy hour, sports on all HD screens, and plenty of arcade games. Slackers, San Antonio's home for all things sports, drinks, and games.
I want to welcome our newest partner of R&R in the Morning and the Sports Star team. You may have heard of them. They're located just off of 281 in Bitters in a big, newly remodeled space. San Antonio's premier card house, SA Card House. That's right. All of our poker-playing listeners tuning in, SA Card House is a must-visit. It offers a beautiful atmosphere, clean, inviting, top-notch customer service for your poker-playing pleasure. SA Card House brings San Antonio a completely new vibe to card houses, offering games for all skill levels, from beginners to professional level poker players. SA Card House welcomes all. If you have not seen them yet, SA Card House is located just off 281 North at Bitters. Has an attached full bar and grill with made-to-order daily specials. This is not your typical card house. SA Card House is a private social club that is accepting new memberships. Visit sacardhouse.com for more info and stop in quick. SA Card House at Bitters and 281.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 210-615-7777 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Cowboys play here. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Live out at the Techport Center. Viva La Brawl. Big fight night. Your host has changed his clothes.
Well, he's
Rudy
sharp
J in a tuxedo.
Woo! It's not just any tuxedo either. I mean, he's looking sharp.
I wouldn't have picked that one.
Why not?
I wouldn't have picked that one. I would have gone just kind of like you in a straight penguin suit.
Well, you know, Rudy can pull it off though, and you can't.
True.
Have you ever?
That is true.
Have you ever worn a tuxedo in your life?
My wedding.
Oh,
I think Rudy.
Yeah.
You want to describe what you have on here? I feel like we're at the Met. You got to tell us what you have. What inspired the style?
Man, I don't know. It's a tuxedo. It's got some color, like some
purple,
fuchsia, pinkish.
Is that
black
fuchsia?
on black?
Little magenta?
Yeah, there you go.
Is that magenta? I think that's magenta.
That's magenta.
We'll go with magenta.
Let's go with magenta.
Because nobody's going to believe us if we said you wore a pink tuxedo.
Well, it's not pink.
No,
it's more of the
it's
purple.
It's magenta.
Purple?
It's magenta.
It's magenta. Or is it mauve?
No, it's not mauve.
It's not mauve.
Not mauve.
Okay.
Well, I'm seeing a whole new side of both of you guys. Mauve, magenta.
I don't even know what mauve is, but it ain't it. How many photos have made the gram of you in the tuxedo?
None.
None
So
yet?
Let me. I'm gonna post. I'm gonna get a good pic, and then I'm gonna post it. But I haven't taken it yet.
Are you sure?
I'm in the tuxedo.
In the tuxedo?
Not yet.
Have you been in the ring with the tuxedo
No,
on?
not yet.
You need to practice that.
I know.
You need to practice that.
Practice getting in and out.
You got to practice
I found out the
getting in
pants
and
are
out.
the stretch pants. So
They're
He's
stretchy
gonna be
pants.
fine. Are you
Yeah,
kidding me? Because
I'm not trying to make him nervous at all. I mean, why would he be nervous about
There'll be
that?
somebody
just a
over
bit.
there pulling that
Oh,
thing
that's
up.
true.
So
Good
you're
point.
you're
See?
good, dude.
See?
He's all good.
Have you seen the ring girls walking around?
Dude.
No.
Wow.
No.
I mean, that's going to add to the struggles of getting in and out of the ring.
But see, this is the good thing. When they're in there, no one will be paying attention to me, so I'll be good.
Yeah. That's a good point.
You know what I mean? So I'm hoping that they just, kind of hang around when I do have to come in there, so that everybody will ignore me. That's the plan.
Nobody's going to ignore you.
Yeah.
It's against the rules for them to ignore you.
That ain't against the rules.
It really is against the rules for them to ignore you. You've got to make them not pay attention to the ring girls.
Good luck with that.
That's your job.
Are you kidding me?
Good luck with that.
No. As sharp as Rudy looks,
this tuxedo ain't that nice.
and nobody going to be looking at Rudy when that happens.
This tuxedo is not that nice.
I'm just saying.
Y'all on for a full 4 hours today?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't know.
working overtime.
I have no idea how that happens on a Friday, right? That's just the boss man trying to screw over Greg Shelton. That's all that is.
I know, Shelton. Have a blast getting out of here. You're not going to have any problems? Okay.
Nah, it'll be fine.
It's all good. Did y'all find any food?
Yeah, apparently there's a whole restaurant right over there, but Greg Shelton refuses to take 3 steps and help us out.
You know better than that.
I do.
This place is cashless, by the way. I know you're a cash guy.
He's a cash guy?
Yeah.
He always keeps cash.
Yeah, but I always use everything on the Southwest card.
Southwest card.
Yeah, I was going to say, man.
I need points. And I know they have a Smoky Moe's over there. So Smoky Moe's has a great Frito pie.
What? It's not burnt ends, is it?
No, it's brisket.
You're not going to eat in that tuxedo.
Hell no.
You can't be eating
Are
it.
you crazy? If
No.
I do, it's over.
Yeah.
I told one of the fighters right now, I was like, hey, I'm cutting with y'all. I ain't had anything today.
Yeah, you can't have the fighters are eating like crazy today.
Well, yeah,
it was yesterday, right?
Yeah, yesterday. They weighed in yesterday. No water and stuff like that.
Everybody made weight.
Yep.
That's good.
6 fights tonight.
Yeah.
So should be fun, man.
They started, 6:30?
When is the first fight?
7 o'clock.
First fight at 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. Okay.
Gates are open. Doors are open.
Yep, they're
Rudy
open.
J's taking pictures and signing autographs in the lobby.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't tell people that.
Well, I don't know. I thought this was the way to get in, but apparently
it's not.
They stuck us in the corner over here.
No, I'm glad the entrance is over there. See, it's funny because everybody walks up thinking they can come in these doors, and they sit there, like those old commercials for the Black Friday stores that are open at 4, open.
Yeah.
And, then they got to walk over there.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right.
Anyways, y'all have a fun show, man.
All right, well, thanks,
I'll see y'all
man.
in a bit.
All right, brother.
Later.
Hey, good luck. Break a leg.
Oh, don't tell them that. Why would you tell him that?
That's what you tell people when they're about to go into show business.
Yeah, well, he's got to climb over ropes.
Break a leg, buddy.
Mm-hmm. Do Sports Center, would
Not literally.
This is San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM, Floresville, and always at ESPNSA.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Let's do some NBA playoff basketball. A couple of games on the schedule tonight. Boston Celtics in Philadelphia. That series all tied up at 1. Denver Nuggets travel to Phoenix, and the Nuggets hold a 2-0 series lead. NBA announced that Celtics guard Marcus Smart is the winner of this year's Hustle Award. Makes him the first player to win that award 2 years in a row. That's crazy.
Joe Reinagel.
For the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Fight night in San Antonio at Cinco de Mayo. We're at the Techport Center for Viva La Brawl.
Finally, it's here. You know, we've been talking about this event for some time, and so it's nice that it's here, and we're ready to go. The doors are open. You can still come out here, grab a ticket, see some great fights. Rudy J., who is the host for tonight, our own Rudy J., says the fights get underway about 7 o'clock. So it gives you plenty of time to get out here, get something to drink, something to eat, and enjoy yourself on a Friday night.
You know, and Rudy brought up a great point that I hadn't really thought of, but watching some of the ring girls arrive, ain't nobody going to pay attention to what he's wearing.
No.
He spent all that money buying a tuxedo and so cutting weight, as he said, getting all prettied up, and ain't nobody going to pay attention.
Well, Rudy will have his opportunity because the ring girls just do, you know, in the rounds.
Yeah.
So then they sit down. And then Rudy can take over after that.
After the fight, he's going to interview the fighters.
Right. So
after they win.
Right. So I'm not sure who's going to pay attention to that, but I mean.
What does that mean?
Well, I mean, if some dude's bleeding, he's got 2 teeth knocked out or black eye, I mean, I don't know. Rudy will do a good job.
Rudy's going to be just fine. Happy for him.
Absolutely, man. This would be a fun gig.
It's going to be a fun night here at the Techport Center on this Cinco de Mayo. You want to be a part of the show? Easy to do on the Kia Bosses Smoke Meats phone lines, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. You can call or text. You can always get us on Twitter at Joe Reinagle 210. You can tweet at me at Jason Minix. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can always comment there on YouTube. But you know what? We've got some San Antonio Missions tickets to give away. You want to go see the San Antonio Missions on Tuesday. They're playing the Corpus Christi Hooks out at Wolf Stadium.
Rivalry.
It's big rivalry.
Yeah.
Big rivalry. It's also $2 Tuesday.
That's good, too.
So be caller 2 and you'll win those tickets. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Caller 2, you win a 4-pack of tickets and a parking pass for the Missions and Hooks Tuesday night at Wolf Stadium. It is 6:05.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. 2 guys, 2 opinions, never enough time.
You know, one of the things that the XFL and the USFL do, and you see more and more leagues doing this, are the in-game interviews.
Yeah.
You know, and like the in-between quarter interviews that they do at the NBA, I find worthless. I mean, Greg Popovich hates them. The reporters hate them. You get the 2 questions. I just look at those and I don't learn anything from them. Coaches don't really tell you anything, and the coaches generally don't want to do them. But for the most part, you don't get anything out of it.
Well, some coaches do. It just obviously with Pop, he hated him. You didn't get much of an answer from him, but there's a lot of coaches that did. Mike Budenholzer used to give some pretty good answers. There were some guys that did, but does it add to the value of the game? I'm not sure. I mean, if it was not there, I don't think I would stop watching.
One of the and again, the in-game interviews, like the XFL does that. And, you know, player scores a touchdown, gets an interception, is out of breath, and a reporter's trying to ask him a question. And, you know, what I do like, though, is the mic'd up players when they show you the conversation between a quarterback and a receiver on a route that was run or what a coach is saying. I really enjoy that aspect of it. I think you can learn stuff. I think you're more informed on what is going on, or you think, what? I mean, that corner, man, he got burnt. And then you see him on the sideline saying to the safety, dude, I thought you had him. That was your area. I was supposed to release. And so then you get mad at the other guy when you were mad at the corner because clearly, you know, the guy that you were mad at, it really wasn't his fault.
Well, I don't know.
I mean, you know, especially when the safeties have, my bad, man, I missed that. I mean,
if he's admitting it, but if the corner's going over to him, he knows he's got a mic on. He's like, dude, you knew that was your guy.
The question is, they know they're mic'd up, but are they aware of that in the moment, in the heat of the game? And I don't know that they are, but I enjoy that aspect of it. We bring this up because the Big 12 is exploring a plan with its media partners, in their words, to modernize its broadcast of football games, like having live in-game interviews, access to locker rooms before and after games, and live audio of its coaches before the game and beyond. I think they're seeing what the XFL has done on television and what some other leagues are doing, saying, you know what, this ain't a bad idea.
Well, I just think they have to. Expand it. It gets people in. I guess a lot of people really like it. For me, I don't really care. I do like the portion you're talking about where the players are mic'd up. That's entertaining. The rest of it, I really don't care about. But some people obviously do. It must be a big thing. Look, TV people and the Big 12, they don't do anything without a lot of research into it.
Sure.
So they've done a lot of research. They obviously feel like this is going to be a big deal and add something and add an audience to their product. So, props to them. We'll see how it goes.
And it's almost like in on Sunday Night Baseball, in one of the innings, generally an outfielder is mic'd up.
Yeah.
And they're having a conversation during the game. And that's kind of cool because, like the other night, the Astros-Phillies game, they were talking to the left fielder of the Phillies, and, he's talking, and then when the pitch is about to come, he's set, then the ball gets hit, and then you hear an oh bleep, and you hear and then he just goes back to the conversation with the guys in the booth. That's kind of cool.
It's cool. The PGA Tour's even doing that.
Yeah.
They'll mic up a player after he hits a drive as he's walking down the fairway to his second shot, and they'll have a conversation with him, and I think that's fun. It just adds a little insight as to what the players are thinking and how they're approaching whatever it is they're doing. I think players mic'd up, to me, is something that I wish all leagues would do and make it happen. The coaches' interviews between quarters and halves, and really, I could do without.
Well, see, and that's kind of where I'm at is I want to see stuff that is good information in the sense of can I learn something from it?
Right.
As a viewer, am I getting more information out of it? And you're right. Some coaches in between interviews will give you some good stuff, but for the most part, they're not telling you anything that the announcers or the analyst hasn't really already said. You're getting the obvious. You're getting you're not getting any in-depth knowledge. So I'm not necessarily a fan of those. Mic'd up stuff, absolutely.
Yeah, no question. I agree with that. So we'll see how it works with the Big 12 if they continue to and do that. I think you're going to see that with a lot of broadcasts, depending on what the sport is. Doesn't make any difference. So, and we're already seeing it. I think we're going to see a lot more.
There was a report earlier this week that Tom Brady might not ever start his job with Fox and totally say, 10 years, $375 million. I don't want that job. What I find interesting is a guy named Dov Kleiman. He claimed that Brady was going to turn that down. Well, then Andrew Marchman, who is the New York Post media writer, he dismissed the idea of what it's there because there's no way Tom Brady's giving up that money. And Tom Brady on the report just tweets out fake news.
Fake news.
Fake news.
I mean, I don't care how much money you already have. Somebody's offering you $37.5 million a year for the next 10 years. You're not turning that down. You're just not. And so Tom Brady's a pretty smart guy. Loaded, got a lot of money, probably doesn't need it. However, you don't turn a job like that down.
So when what you're saying is you expect Tom Brady to be in the booth soon?
Well,
at what point does Tom Brady, because he said he was going to take a year off as we get pizza delivery here at the Techport Center.
Wow.
This is fantastic.
This is awesome.
Absolutely. I think Tim Spence has a new career, man. He delivers pizza like the best of them.
He
In
does.
fact, he
Not
can grab
bad
a
at all.
microphone and let us eat.
Yeah.
And he can do the next segment.
Yeah, he could just do it himself, and we'll take over at 6:30.
We could do that.
Thank you, Tim.
Although about 6:30, we're going to visit with Frank Colosa.
That's
and get
right.
some insight on the Kentucky Derby.
And we got to do a beer bet. Have you got
And-
we got to listen to Frank first?
I think we need to listen to Frank
All
first.
right. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, we need it. What'd you say, Pledge? You want to? Is it 6:15 or 6:30? Oh, we're doing them
15.
next.
Yeah.
So is he ready? I mean, Frank's a busy guy, so the time was a little bit flux. So you want to talk to Frank Colosa next.
Yep.
All right, so you want to learn something about the Kentucky Derby. And I will tell you, Frank Colosa, his official title is Bloodstock Agent.
That sounds creepy.
Well, creepy and completely made up. I mean, like he should either be working for the morgue or, I don't know, a blood bank or something. But basically, he's a handicapper.
Yeah.
And he buys racehorses for a living. He takes millionaires' money and he buys horses for them. And he does well. The only time I've walked away from, say, Retama Park with hundreds of dollars has been when I've listened to Frank Colosa. So we'll listen to Frank Colosa. He's ready. He'll join us next here on The Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star.
If you missed R&R in the morning, then you missed this.
Tyron Smith, it's not a matter of debate. In fact, we like to call this an RPP. You have a Hall of Fame left tackle that is willing, at least was last year, to swing to the right side and help the team go get a victory. And you have the opportunity now to lock him up or at least keep him happy. And it appears those that are inside the Star saying they're coming to a resolution and to keep Tyron Smith. And obviously this will be the last contract he ever signs. And when he does retire and head up to Canton, it'll do so on his terms.
Did we like Tyler Smith enough to say, I don't want him as left guard, even though I know that's what we brought him in for? So
left tackle.
And then you just move the Swiss Army kid, which makes them better, right? But the thing is, Rob, it's another RPP, rich people problem, because when Tyron Smith goes down, slide the youngster to the left like you do in the cha-cha.
Slide to the left. Wake up with Robin and Rudy. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The greatest American rock and roll band in history, Aerosmith, present Peace Out, the Farewell Tour. Aerosmith, with special guest the Black Crows.
Little thing, let me light your candle, calls the mama, I'm sure all the
AT&T Center, November 1st. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. Aerosmith with the Black Crows, the Farewell Tour. Peace out.
We all have that friend who wakes up early to go get everyone McDonald's breakfast, while the rest of us sleep in. This is your sign to thank them. And if you're that friend, this is us saying thank you.
Having McDonald's breakfast is delicious. Having someone else get you McDonald's breakfast is delicious-er. Right now, get a big breakfast with hotcakes for just $4.99, only at McDonald's. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Macy's one-day sale is going on now with deals of the day on gifts mom will love, like fine jewelry selections to make her day sparkle, 35 to 70% off. Shoes, handbags, and more spring accessories, 30 to 50% off. And summer-ready dresses for any occasion, $49.99 to $99.99. Plus, get contact-free curbside pickup or pickup in store at Macy's. Savings off sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
Staples. Big things, shipping supplies and services, so you can fill big orders. The latest tech, so you can create the next big thing. And now during Staples Small Business Deal Days, when rewards members spend $100 or more, they get $30 back in rewards to use on big things, little things, or anything they need. Plus, find new deals in-store every week on tech, office chairs, and shipping supplies. Because for small businesses, Staples knows savings are a big thing. Rewards offer ends 5/13. Limit 1. Redeemable in-store only.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
You know the Roo Pub knows how to throw a party, and this Sunday, May 7th, the Roo Pub will kick off their 10-year anniversary celebration with a massive crawfish boil. For $15, it's all-you-can-eat crawfish from Big Boy's Barbecue with all the fixins and live music. The party starts at noon. Bring your friends and come hungry. All-you-can-eat crawfish this Sunday at the Roo Pub in Angry Elephant, 281 in Redmond Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Guys, stop what you're doing. Give me a few seconds of your time and let me give you a piece of advice that will change your love life forever. Have you noticed you've been losing a little pep in your step? Has your lady friend asked you, is everything okay? Do you find yourself having trouble rising for the occasion? Do you stress out before that special moment and wonder, is it gonna work? Guys, I'm going to let you in on a big secret. You don't ever have to worry again. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula has you covered. Mojo is the 100% guaranteed male enhancement formula that guarantees lasting success, if you know what I mean. The Mojo Male Enhancement Formula is safe, natural, and effective every single time, guaranteed. Mojo is available in a fast-acting spray and a quick-action capsule. Do yourself and her a favor and call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today. They'll get you set up for success. Call 210-494-2210. That number again is 210-494-2210. Mojo Male Enhancement, only available at Pure Line Nutrition.
The Angie's List you know and trust is now Angie, and we're so much more than just a list. We still connect you with top local pros and show you ratings and reviews, but now we also let you compare upfront prices on hundreds of projects and book a service instantly. We can even handle the rest of your project from start to finish. So remember, Angie's List is now Angie, and we're here to get your job done right. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
The XFL Championship game is here. In a league of dreams and opportunities, there's only one chance to be a champion. The road to the XFL Championship ends in San Antonio. The best of the North versus the best of the South. The DC Defenders versus the Arlington Renegades. Who will emerge the winner? The 2023 XFL Championship game, Saturday, May 13th at 7 p.m. at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio. Defenders versus Renegades. XFL history will be made. Tickets are on sale now, starting at $25. Visit xfl.com/tickets.
Monday on R&R in the morning, we breaking down the NBA playoffs and what happened over the weekend and giving out the victory cigar and Swisher Sweets at 7:30. Now back to the Blitz. I'll see you boys in a few hours down there at Techport Arena.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix, and we are at the Techport Arena, the Techport Center. Viva La Brawl, big fight night here in San Antonio on this Cinco de Mayo. But tomorrow, it's all about the Kentucky Derby. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. Good friend Frank Alosa joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. His official title is Bloodstock Agent.
Ouch.
Seems like some weird, I don't know, job, but in reality, he's a handicapper and he buys racehorses for a living. He spends rich people's money to buy horses to make them even more money. Is that fair and accurate, Frank?
Well, that's the goal. That's certainly the goal. Doesn't always work out that way, but that's the goal. It's fair and accurate. I'll tell you this. Wait, Jason, I gotta. I mean, you know, for full transparency, I worked at KTSA. It was nice to hear the Fours commercial again. The 444 lawyer. Like, it was nice to hear that. I can't tell you how long it's been since I've heard that.
You know, Jeff Davis will certainly appreciate that. I'm guessing. And I did. I mean, in San Antonio, he left the radio business to become a bloodstock agent. But I will say the only time I've ever won real money, like walking out of Retama Park with hundreds of dollars, was listening to this guy's advice on betting horses, whether it's live racing at Retama or at the Kentucky Derby. So with the Derby tomorrow, I reach out to Frank. And for the record, Frank, in full transparency, Joe and I will have a beer bet later where we will pick a horse, not the favorite, because we're not allowed to pick Forte, the stupid rules that we made up. But there's a beer bet on the line. So give Joe some advice, but you know what I'm saying here, right?
Yeah, exactly. Whatever he thinks is going to win, I'll just tell him.
Yeah. He's more clueless than I am.
Well, I'm not as clueless as I look.
That's not true.
I'm not as clueless as I look, and I look pretty clueless. But, you know, Frank, you look at the Kentucky Derby, and I got to ask you this question before we get into the horses, because Jason and I were having this conversation. And first of all, a horse that races in the Kentucky Derby, what does a horse like that typically cost?
Well, it depends. I mean, there's a horse in here that costs $1 million and change, and then there's some horses that people $1.3 million is Tappet Trice, the 5 horse. He costs $1.3 million as a baby. There's a $775,000 horse in here. And then there's some horses in here that cost $25,000, or they were bred by the owners. So, I mean, it's kind of a wide range. That's the cool part of this point in the 3-year-old year is you kind of have a wide range of what horses cost, or if they're homebreds for people, meaning they actually own the mare and delivered the baby, and then they raised it and took it to the races. So it's kind of a cross section of the sales, the horse buying and selling business in the Kentucky Derby every year.
And I know, just because you and I have been friends for a long time, you've bought a horse for $5,000 that has done extremely well. You've bought horses for several $100,000 that turned out not to be so great, right? I mean, that's just the nature of the business.
Oh, yeah.
When was the last time, say, a $5,000 to $50,000 horse won the Kentucky Derby?
Well, what was the year that horse from New Mexico won? He came up the rail with Calvin Burrell. I can't think of the horse's name, but I think he cost like $5,500 as a yearling. I remember that. Kentucky. Well, I can't remember that horse's name, but he beat like a very heavily favored horse. Calvin Burrell rode him. He was trained by a New Mexico-based trainer, and the guy hauled the horse all the way to Kentucky from New Mexico. The name's escaping me, but that's probably the most reasonably priced Derby winner. I mean, last year, a horse that was bought out of a race for $30,000 won it and beats $1 million horses. That's what they cost at auction. But it doesn't matter when they line them up. Paper, cost of the horse, you know, how big they are, how small they are. That's the beauty of the Derby, is it's a true test of these young 3-year-old horses.
You know, Frank, you always hear, and I believe this statement, that these horses are like athletes. So when you're going out and you're buying a horse, what exactly are you looking for that might lead you to believe it's going to be a successful horse?
Well, there's something we use. It's very subjective, but we call them angles, right? There's certain angles on a horse, and it's kind of a visual medium, and this is not that, so it's a little tough to explain. But you use the word athlete. Athleticism is not something that you can cheat, right? You either are athletic or you're not. So at sales, we walk these horses a lot. Sometimes we see them actually run, depending on the sale. So there's a lot that goes into the mechanics of the way they move, how they use their body, if they're, you know, just using their front end, their hind end when they move. You're looking for a horse that sort of complements itself in the way it moves. And athleticism is something you can't cheat. You're either an athlete or you're not. And that's as simple as it comes. So that's the biggest thing, is their ability to move with someone walking them, obviously, because that's, you know, they have a handler, and, you know, how they use their body is a sign of athletic ability. And that's what we judge. We're trying to buy athletes. We're not trying to buy horses in the end. You know, we're trying to buy the most athletic individuals.
Frank Alosa joining us here on the Blitz. He buys race horses for a living. He is a handicapper, officially on his business card, bloodstock agent, but nobody knows what the hell that means. Frank, you talk about buying athletes, and Ryan Eagle, you know, will go to the track, and he's not looking at the athletic build of a horse. He's looking for the one that takes a crap right before the race. Is that a good way to make your wagers on a...
Right? I mean, it makes sense.
Well, it depends. Like, did he watch some videos of these horses galloping on Twitter this week and see one crap? Because I'll tell him that that's the one he should make the beer bet on. No, it doesn't really make a difference. Usually it's kind of a sign. I mean, it's just a sign of general, like, anxiety or nervousness. I mean, like, horses know, you know, they train in the mornings, and they're usually done by 10:30, 11 o'clock. So all of a sudden, you know, it's in the afternoon, it's getting darker, or the sun's on the other side, and something they're not used to. And so it's more anxiety or nervousness. But for Joe's purposes, yes, always bet the gray horse and the one that goes crap right before the start.
The gray horse that takes a dump right before the race.
It makes perfect sense to me.
Unload your bank account.
Yeah,
unload your bank account if the gray one does.
That horse is 10 pounds lighter right there.
And it's always the number 2 horse. I mean, I just, yeah, exactly. No, Frank, I look at the Kentucky Derby, and, you know, I'm a big fan of Todd Pletcher because he's a San Antonio guy from Madison. He's got 3 horses in this race in the Kentucky Derby tomorrow, and all 3 of them are high favorites. Which one of the Todd Pletcher horses do you think will actually win tomorrow?
Well, Forte is going to go off as the favorite, and probably rightfully so, but his last race didn't do as much for me as his previous races, so I look at him as a potential regression horse. The best horse I think he unloads tomorrow, that's Todd Pletcher, is the 5 Tapit Trice. He actually cost $1.3 million as a yearling, as a 1-year-old horse, and he kind of has the style necessary in this race. He's more of a grinder. He likes to come from off the pace, so he'll probably sit about mid-pack. And if his jockey, Luis Saez, can get the horse to the outside, I think that's Todd's best chance to win. I am against Forte. He is your favorite on the morning line. He'll be your favorite when they spring the gate tomorrow. I'm fully against him. I'm using Tapit Trice because I think that's Todd's best chance, and it's tough to say Todd Pletcher doesn't have a chance. So I'm using Tapit Trice over Forte.
When you look at these horses, Frank, and some of the odds, and I'm looking at the odds here, and I always, being the novice that I am when it comes to betting on horses, I'll go in and I like the 8-1, 10-1, maybe even a 12-1 horse. Is that a good way to look at that? Some like a mid-odd kind of horse?
Yeah, I mean, especially in the Derby, there's 19 horses in tomorrow. Usually it's 20. It's kind of a wild scramble into the first turn. So when you're looking at these races, you're trying to find the horse that's going to be able to put themselves close enough or in the least amount of trouble. So that's generally not down on the inside and not a horse that's going to be, 50 lengths back when they get to the backstretch. You don't really want that horse, the one that gets himself in trouble or is too far back in the Derby, especially in 2023. So, yeah, I mean, if you see a horse in that 8 to 15-1 range that you have a strong opinion about, I say go to the window. Like, this is the perfect race to do it because it's so wide open. It's such a pack of horses. It's a herd of horses that anything can happen in this race. And very rarely do you see the first and second choices in the betting finish 1-2. It's just very rare.
Frank Alosa, professional handicapper and buyer of racehorses. So when you go to the window tomorrow, because I know you when we were chatting earlier, you were doing all your homework. What's the ticket that you're gonna really put your money in on?
Well, when I handicap the Derby, I'm looking for a horse that's improving with distance of ground. And that this year for me is Angel of Empire, the 14. Brad Cox trains the horse. Brad is now an established name in the horse racing game. He kind of burst on the scene about 10 years ago, but he's getting very good horses. This is a horse that has continually improved with the more racing he has gotten and as the distance of the races have gotten longer. No one in this field has been 10 furlongs, 1.25 miles of the Derby. But this is a horse with a running style where he can sit mid-pack and make a huge run off the turn, because that is the key. You have to be rolling at about the 3/8 pole to the quarter-mile pole from home, because it is such a scramble. You need to get ahead of the other horses that start to scramble, so you have to be able to make a move. This horse has that ability to sustain that move through the wire, in my opinion.
Frank, and I've got to ask you.
8-1. He's 8-1 on the morning line, so there's value right there.
Well, when you look at a horse, and especially in the Kentucky Derby, because that's what we're talking about, you don't want a horse, I'm assuming, that takes the lead right off the bat.
That's usually how I handicap these races, because I anticipate some of these horses are going to go out there. I anticipate the fractions. The opening quarter mile of the race is probably 22 and change. Half mile of the race will be in 45 and change, 46 seconds, which is fast. I mean, that is fast. And this is a 10 furlong race. So a half mile means you still have 3/4 of a mile left to run. When they turn for home, that's usually when those front end horses kind of hit a wall. If a horse gets out there and goes loose and gets brave on the front end, that's when you see like an authentic run off the screen a few years back and Justify the Light. But in this case, I don't see those types of horses in here. So if they do carve out those fractions, 22 and change, 46 or so, to the half mile, and you'll see it on your screen when you're watching, they flash the time, you'll know that it's a quick pace. And if that is the case, that's why I always like those horses that can sit mid-pack and have the necessary speed, or I like to call it the turn of foot necessary late in the race to be able to kick forward.
So, Frank, if I go up to the window tomorrow and I go 14, 5, and 6, is my parlay there? Am I going to win any money?
Yeah, do it in the exacta box. I actually have the race 14 would be 2 and 5 potentially to finish second and third, or second in there, and then the 11, 15, 17, and 22 to pick up a piece third and fourth. I think the 14, to me, just improving is the way to go. That's Angel of Empire. Verifying is another good horse. He's 15-1 on the morning line. I think he's just getting good. I don't know if he's ready to go a mile and a quarter, but I think he can hang on for second or third. And the 5 Tapit Trice, as I told you before, I think he's Todd Fletcher's best chance to hit the board tomorrow. He could win, but I don't think he's ready for this. I don't think he's the type of horse that can actually win tomorrow. I think if this race was in a month, he could win the race.
What about Kingsbarn?
I don't love him. I don't love him. His last race to me was a bit phony. I mean, he went to the front very easily. He never really had to work. He had tons of horse left late because no one challenged him. He carved out very slow fractions. That's not going to happen tomorrow. He's not going to get the same trip. He's going to run into adversity tomorrow for the first time in his career.
All right, Frank, then as long as we're asking about particular horses, I'm going to throw one in there. What about, I've heard a lot about this 2 Phils. What do you think about that horse?
Okay, so interesting horse, right? So the Derby is run on dirt, right? It's a dirt clay mix. His best race came over a synthetic track, which is essentially like shaved up carpet and rubber pellets. It's like what the NFL teams have turned to, like that rubber pellet mix kind of stuff.
Sounds like your living room.
Right, exactly. So he kind of ran over like essentially like a carpet surface, and that was his best rate to date. Do I think he has a chance? Sure, maybe for fourth, if that. I just don't think that form translates when you get on dirt. Running on dirt or turf or that synthetic surface, they're all so different. And the dirt, when you get that kickback where he's going to get it, I just don't know if he runs through it the same way as he did last time.
What 2 Phils is he named after?
They're Chicago owners, so I think it's something related to Chicago.
I think it's a father and son is what I
was just
heard,
seeing
so.
if Frank would just know, because he seems to know everything else about these guys.
Well, and one of the owners is a Phillip, but Patricia's Hope, who's been a long-time owner in this game, Patricia's Hope LLC actually owns a good chunk of this horse too. So, but all those owners, including the trainer, are all Chicago guys. So they all shipped in from Chicago about 4 or 5 days ago.
Frank Alosa joining us here on the Blitz. And again, that is why you just heard why he's my go-to guy. And I know when he was living in San Antonio, Frank, I hope it's okay I tell this story. He was doing all kinds of stuff out at Retama, and some of the jockeys would come in. They would stay at Frank's house, and he would just open up the dresser drawer and stack them up in there, and that's how they slept at his place.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, it was easy. It was, quick, cheap rent, 1-bedroom apartment with 17 people living there. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, but I mean, you charged them all a ton of money. It was fantastic. You go over to his house and you have all these jockeys just pulling out of the dresser.
He's a smart man.
My gambling and beer debt really started to rack up, so I look forward to the meet.
Absolutely, Frank. And you
wait,
follow...
before we go.
What?
Wait. Before we go, what are the horses on the beer bet? You can't bail off the phone with me. Like, who do you have? And you can't pick Angel of Empire, Joe. You can't. I just did.
Well, because I am. We're going to.
Are you in the beer bet with us? Is that what you're saying?
Well, the beer, although knowing Frank, if he loses, he's not going to pay up.
I have your bet, Mo.
I'll walk into the Rue Pub and there'll be a Miller Lite paid for by Frank Alosa. We've got
they
to
might
figure it
still
out.
have my old debit card on file there.
I'm happy to know that.
Yeah, well, James Pledger uses it often because he spells your name on our YouTube live channel Frank. So I mean, it works out pretty good. Frank, text me later who I should take in the beer bet.
All right, you bet. I will.
You can text Joe too. Text him 2 Phils or something.
See you, Frank.
I'll
Thanks,
text
man.
it. All right, guys.
Frank Alosa, blood stock agent. He buys horses. He's a handicapper.
But that's a creepy name.
Well, it is. Although I like the information. We've been talking about the beer bet.
Yeah.
We will make our beer bet. Although if you guys have any suggestions for us, you can text the Kia Bosses Smoke Meats phone lines 210-656-ESPN 656-3776.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Big League Baseball tonight. The Texas Rangers back at it. They're out west taking on the LA Angels. By the way, you can hear that game right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star beginning at 8 o'clock. The Houston Astros, they are also back at it tonight. They're in Seattle. First pitch for that one at 9:10. And Tom Brady says, what are you talking about? I'm not turning down $375 million with Fox. I'm working. The Blitz continues next.
Gold. If you've been thinking of how to secure the value of your assets and grow your wealth, think gold. Think Noble Gold. Hi, Jason Minix here for NobleGoldInvestments.com. After the latest bank failures and other economic news that could devalue the dollar, gold is a safe investment to secure your wealth. And if you're not sure what to do, that's not a problem. Go to NobleGoldInvestments.com. They'll walk you through everything. They will email you their gold and silver investors guide. Do this. Go look at the price of gold in 1970 up until today. It was about $35 an ounce, and the long-term trend will blow you away. A lot of folks wish they would have bought back then in an IRA or even physical gold. Don't wish you did this down the road. Take the time to go to the website today. Go to NobleGoldInvestments.com. You're welcome to use promo code STAR for a free 5-ounce America the Beautiful coin they're offering people that qualify. NobleGoldInvestments.com. Mark it down to do today. NobleGoldInvestments.com.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to start getting conversational in another language in as little as 3 weeks? Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
Babbel, language for life, celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Finding great people to hire can be like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Their powerful matching technology delivers so many qualified candidates. It's like finding a needle in a needle stack. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. For less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we select identical coverage for only $19 a month. A savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-449-8811. That's 1-800-449-8811. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-449-8811. That's 1-800-449-8811.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Leroy 71's backed up. What's your 20? Over.
Olivia needs more drivers for her trucking company to go the extra
I've
mile.
got 3 more stops to make.
She wants to hitch a team to drive business forward.
Lots of double nickels on the 169. You know what I'm over? This driver shortage.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
All guests appearing on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star appear on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Buyers Barricades provides traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com. Joe Reinagel, Jason Minix, The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is The Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Live at the Techport Center, Viva La Brawl, Davies Entertainments. The fight's about to get underway here in a few minutes as people are filling up here. If you want tickets, there's still some available. So come on out and enjoy a Cinco de Mayo Friday night fight night.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a great place for an event just like this. I mean, the food's fantastic. Got a full bar over there and kind of like a food court, right?
Yeah.
So you go
like
in there.
You've never been here before.
Well, I have, but the food court, I don't remember that.
Well,
and there's really not a bad seat in the house.
Yeah.
Right. So
all right. So
it's all good.
We were just talking with Frank Alosa, our bloodstock agent, about the Kentucky Derby. It's time for our beer bet.
It's time for another beer bet with the Blitz. Jason and Joe go head-to-head with the biggest bet of the weekend. Here's the Blitz.
All right, Joe. You know, we got all the information that we needed from Frank to make our beer bet. Are you going to pick first or am I?
It doesn't matter. I can go either way.
So neither one of us are allowed to, because we make up our own rules, to pick the favorite, which is Forte at 3-1.
Although listening to Frank a few minutes ago, he said that that's probably not a good pick anyway.
Well, which is interesting. I mean, because a lot of people will go with the favorite, but listening to Frank, he doesn't have Forte, the number 15 horse, in any of his business tomorrow.
No, he doesn't. And say you're just gonna follow Frank. That's all you're gonna do.
If I get on an expert whose advice I trust, why wouldn't I follow Frank?
Okay, I'm gonna go first then.
All right.
So Frank told me to absolutely not take this guy. This pick. I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm going against Frank. Everybody else, I'm taking 2 fills.
You're taking 2 fills.
2 fills. Now, of course, the bet is the 2 fills doesn't have to win. It just has to beat whatever horse Minix picks.
All right, so you're picking the 3 horse.
Yes, number 3.
Now, if I went with Frank's second horse, well, he went Angel of Empire 14, and then he had Verifying, which is the 2 horse, right?
Right.
But I still like Tap It Trice. I think I'm going to go with that. I'm going with the 5 horse.
You do that. He didn't like Tap It Trice, did he? I don't remember if he did or not. You're writing that down, Pledge? You got it?
Just writing it down. The 3 and the 5.
3 and the 5. So, like I say, neither one of those horses has to win the race. It just has to beat the other.
Yeah. So when we look at
better.
If the overall finich, you'll owe me another beer, because our beer bets right now are tied at 3-3.
You would think I would get a point spread or something, because the odds with 2 fills is 12-1. Tap It Trice is 5-1.
But Tap It Trice was the horse that I liked coming in.
Well, I'm just saying.
I was just, even before we talked with Frank.
Shouldn't I get like a 2-length handicap or something?
How do you try to get
I'm just asking.
You're trying to get some gravy after we've already made the bet.
I'm just asking.
Yeah, the answer is no.
Okay, that's fine.
No.
I don't need it.
Because I don't know how we would measure that out when it was all said and done. If we tried to.
We get that tape measure on the TV screen?
Well, I mean, when they do the horse results, do they give you a furlong option?
Well, they give you a time, and you could give me like an extra, minute or something.
A whole minute? What do you think? I'm an idiot?
Well,
I'll give you half a second.
Yeah?
You want a little gravy? I'll give you half a second.
Oh, stop it. No, I don't need it. I don't need it. I'm good to go. I like 2 fills, and I'm good to go. I'm all right. I'm looking forward to this beer bet. Because this is something neither one of us know anything about.
But I will tell you, although for the record, I should go with the 14 horse Angel of Empire because that is the one that Frank liked the most.
Yeah, Frank liked that one a lot.
In fact, he had 14 with the win, 2, 5, 11, 15, and 22 in
22
in his action.
Wow, 22 is a 20-1.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Those were the horses that he liked.
Now, see, if I was a gambling man, and I am, I like that 20-1. I mean, why not take a shot? You take that one, pair it up with the 14 horse at 8-1, and then maybe a tap it trice. It looks like a pretty good trifecta to me.
Yeah. You want me to text that to you later so you'll know what to do when you call your guy?
No, I know exactly what to do. I don't have a guy that I can call.
What do you mean you don't have a guy?
I don't have a guy.
You got a guy.
I don't have a guy.
We all have a guy.
I used to be the guy.
No, your dad was the guy.
Yeah, he was the guy.
Your dad was the guy.
He was the guy.
You were the guy's snot-nosed kid.
He didn't trust me to make a bet with him, so because he knew I wouldn't pay off.
Well, exactly, and he's not going to break your legs because he would have to pay the insurance bill.
Exactly. I told you I got my golf clubs taken away one time when I was in high school. Did I tell you that story?
No.
Oh my gosh, we used to gamble like crazy on the golf course, and Alice Country Club, man.
Alice has a country club.
It's a 9-hole country club.
The ACC.
Absolutely. So I'm playing. I got my rear end worn out. Right. So I didn't have enough money to pay him.
Yeah.
So he said, okay, he unstrapped my golf clubs from the cart, took them in. He said, clubs will be right here when you have the money.
Man.
That's what I had to say. Dad.
Yeah, to mow some lawns.
Oh, my goodness.
You know, the old-fashioned GoFundMe, go mow a lawn.
Go buy that. Exactly.
NBA action tonight. 2 games, one about to get underway with Boston and Philadelphia. That series tied 1-1. Series shifts back to Philadelphia. I'm guessing, looking at the clock right now, though we're not watching the game, that's all the on-court celebrations of Joel Embiid as the MVP, in front of the home crowd. The whole process. And again, for Joel Embiid, that kind of started the process to get MVP, but now he's got to have playoff success. The way James Harden played in Game 2 in Boston, kind of like what we talked about with Anthony Davis with the Lakers, so inconsistent. Does Philadelphia get a win tonight at home?
You know, I think when you have celebrations like this, like Philadelphia's having tonight, it almost puts you at a disadvantage. I mean, the crowd's going to be hyped, right? Everybody's going to be excited, but for whatever reason, it fires up the other team. We've been through this with the Spurs. There'll be some sort of award handed out, and then, during the playoffs, and all of a sudden the Spurs lay an egg. And I don't know why that happens, but it happens. And I think it's just the other team saying, man, we're going to ruin this party, so enjoy.
And I think some of it, too, is all these athletes are such creatures of habit. And when you jack with your pregame routine,
that's a good point.
You jack with everything. Mm-hmm. I think for Boston, though, it's going to be loud and crazy early. And I know it's cliche, but they have to weather the early storm.
Yeah.
This series will go back to Boston tied 2-2, I think. I think Philadelphia gets tonight, but Boston over the weekend. And I think Boston wins this series. But I think, tonight it's going to be an interesting night, but I think Philadelphia gets the win.
I'm going to go just the opposite. I think Boston gets tonight. Philly gets Game 4.
In Phoenix later tonight, the Suns were my adopted team for this playoff run since the Spurs sucked all year. But they're down 0-2 to the Denver Nuggets. The Nuggets, the most disrespected 1 seed. And I really thought Phoenix was going to be able to take this series. They're down 0-2. No Chris Paul because, of course, it's the playoffs and he's hurt. But they have no bench. And Kevin Durant has not been good for the Phoenix Suns over the first 2 games of this series. If Phoenix doesn't win tonight, this one's over maybe with a broom.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, is it time to start breaking out the S word when it comes to this series? Because you're right. I mean, Phoenix certainly not a must-win, but they certainly
it's a must-win for Phoenix.
This is one
it's
that
a must-win.
They would really like to have.
It's
very
by
much
definition,
so.
it's a must-win.
I mean, with an asterisk on top, with exclamation points, they really like to have this one. Look, it's going to be tough, and Kevin Durant's got to show up, and he has not showed up. And Phoenix gave up so much for that guy to bring him in here to be the final piece of the puzzle to win a championship, and he is just he stunk up the place the first 2 games.
You know, they need more out of KD, but the guy that really has to show up for the Phoenix Suns is DeAndre Ayton. I mean, that guy's been abused.
He's stealing.
And look, the Joker's a 2-time MVP for a reason, but Ayton's got to make an effort,
right?
I mean, Devin Booker is going to do Book things, and Kevin Durant I expect to play better, but in reality, they gave up their entire bench to get him, and with no CP3, if they don't get this done, Monty Williams might not be long for that job. They've had as impatient as owners are, and you look at Coach Bud getting fired this week in Milwaukee 2 years after winning a title. Part of that is they've got new ownership group, and there's a brand new owner in Phoenix, and that billionaire dude who bought the team, Monty doesn't have that Michigan State tie. There's no loyalty from that owner to Monty. But when you look at the teams that Monty has had, and as close as they've been, if they get swept, I will not be surprised if he is the next coach that's looking for a job.
And you got to wonder, will Chris Paul retire? I mean, my goodness, what is he now? 34 years old, I think, and he's had a good career regular season. His playoff record stinks.
Well, and again, I mean, for Chris Paul, you go to Phoenix and you think you got a chance to win a champion. And as great of a player as he has been, he always gets hurt in the postseason. Always. That's the knock on him. And you wonder about championship windows. He might stay in the league and do some stuff, but he's getting closer to becoming that role player as opposed to a key component to a team.
So you think he doesn't retire? He just goes off and plays with somebody else.
Too much free money in the NBA.
All right.
That'll do it for us on this Friday. Viva La Brawl about to get underway here at the Techport Center. Don't forget the Saturday morning hangover tomorrow morning with James Pledger and Jack Thompson. They get going at an ungodly hour, like 9 a.m. on a Saturday, which is ungodly for me anyway.
Yes.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Follow Jason at Jason